The Orange County Riptide have done it. They have clinched the #1 seed in the CCL South and will host the semifinal game here at Great Park on Wednesday. But first, 2 more regular season games left to play in CCL action. Good afternoon, folks, wherever you may be. Obviously, alongside Aiden Pham. Aiden, Riptide playing for fun. Saints have something to play for. Saints win today, plus a Barons loss, would take a winner-take-all matchup tomorrow between the two teams.
Yeah, well, first for the Riptide, big congratulations. They secured the #1 seed in the CCL South yesterday, and that's a good feeling with 2 games left to play. But you mentioned it, for the Saints, everything to play for today, and the Riptide have a chance to be spoilers to Arroyo Seco.
Orange County can tack on to that win percentage today with a win against the Saints and clinch a season series victory against Arroyo Seco. Here's the Orange County lineup today. Trajan Rogowski leads things off. Ryan Castro at third. Lonzo Reyes at first. Tatum Marsh, the DH. Dennis Fitzpatrick at second. Zach Woodson at right field. Correction, Connor Barth, a late scratch, or Fitzpatrick, a late scratch, rather. Barth at second. Matanako at short, Ian Wen, the catcher, Hunter Harrington, and left. But first, the Riptide play defensively. There's the Saints lineup that'll take him on in the top of the first inning. Braden Flores at short, Evan Ryder in left, Sean Asperger at third, Carson Manarisi, the DH, Cannon King in right, Owen Mangini at first, Dylan Immel at second, Nick Nashua, the catcher, for the pitcher, Hudson Carvalho, and Brody Shear rounds things out in center field. Riptide defense, Hunter Harrington in left, Trajan Rogowski in center, Zach Woodson in right. Ryan Castro at third, Matanako at short, Connor Barth at second, Lonzo Reyes at first, and Ian Wen does the catching for Andrew Harbor. He's been the regular Sunday starter all season for the Riptide. Today, he's pitching on this Saturday afternoon, so Harbor gets bumped up a day and takes on this Saints lineup with 2 games left to play in the CCL regular season. Braden Flores, the switch-hitting shortstop, bats from the left side and leads things off. All ready to go here on this Saturday afternoon as Harbor misses outside on the first pitch of the ball game. Andrew Harbor, 6'2" senior from Tustin, California. It's his 9th game of the season, 8th start for Orange County. Here's 1-0. Fastball drilled out towards left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So Braden Flores starts the ball game with a leadoff single.
Perfect start here for Arroyo Seco. Avi, you and I were there on Wednesday at Arroyo Seco when the Riptide entered that 8th inning ahead 4-0, and it was just a really good inning for the Bats. 7 hits and 6 runs.
It was a tough loss for the Riptide. 6 runs in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th. Saints would storm back to win that ball game. Here's Evan Ryder at the plate. Harbor now from the stretch. Righty Evan Ryder takes inside for strike 1. .336 average on the season for Ryder in 27 games. 38 hits, 20 RBIs. 6'2" sophomore out of Culver City. Plays his collegiate baseball at the JUCO level with Santa Ana. Works with Braden Flores at first after his leadoff hit. Harbor throws over. Flores stands in safely. I mentioned this, the 8th start for Andrew Harbor. .270 ERA in 20 innings of work entering the ball game. 14 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 12 walks, 13 strikeouts. Pitched 4 shutout innings in his last start last Sunday against the Philippines.
Yeah, overall, it's been a pretty good summer for Andrew Harbor. Big thing for him is if he can limit the walks here, that's going to be key to his success.
You know that Andrew Harbor struggles with command sometimes coming out of the gate. So as Aiden said, the biggest factor today is whether or not he can get ahead in the count early. He's done so here against Evan Ryder as he looks for the first out of the ball game. Tosses back to first instead and checks Braden Flores.
Oh, this is a Saints team, Avi, that's super aggressive on the base paths. They won't be afraid to take off. So good to see Andrew Harbor mindful of that.
Here's 0-2. Breaking ball outside, line towards right field. A bloop single for a base hit. So just like that, the Saints get back-to-back singles to start the ball game. No outs and runners at first and second for the lefty Sean Asperger.
Saints picking up right where they left off against the Riptide the last time these two teams met. As good of a start as you can possibly get.
Asperger looks to drive in the first run of the ball game. As Harbor tosses the baseball over towards Logan the ball boy. As for a fresh one here with Asperger. Home plate umpire Chris Marr motions to get back in play. Marr behind the plate, Martin Ramirez at first, and John DeCesar at third. Harbor kicks and deals. Asperger shows bunt, rolls it down the third base line into the glove of Castro, tosses to first for the out. But the sacrifice works to perfection as both runners are in scoring position. So the Saints have an opportunity to strike early here in the top of the first. One out for Carson Panarisi.
Good execution there by Sean Asperger. You get both guys in scoring position, just lays it down the line, and it forces Castro to make the play and a chance to strike first.
So it's Flores at third, Ryder at second, DH Panarisi at the plate. Harbor takes a sigh on the mound, strides and fires. Fastball drilled out right to the mound. Harbor catches Flores at third, tosses to first for the out. Great heads up by Andrew Harbor to scare off Flores from taking home before firing to first for the second out.
Yeah, that was probably best case scenario there, right there for the Riptide. Bouncer right back to Harbor. Like you said, Avi does the right thing, makes sure the runner stays put, and secures out number two.
So an opportunity to get out of the first inning scot-free for Andrew Harbor. But the power hitting Cannon King at the plate. Lefty's 6 home runs lead the CCL. First pitch. Fastball high. King, the 5'10 sophomore out of Los Angeles, plays his collegiate ball at UCSD, or at least he will next season after having committed there. Guy that played at Cal State San Marcos this past season. We'll touch on that program in just a second with some exciting news. As Harbor nods to King. Pitch dribbled back foul. It's a 1-1 count. Dennis Fitzpatrick, who was scheduled to play for the Riptide today but was a late scratch, recently committed to Cal State San Marcos. So congratulations to Dennis, and hoping the best for him as he finally finds a new home after transferring from Pacific. And another Riptide commitment today. Liam Thatcher is heading up to San Jose State. So congrats to Liam as well. Harbor gets a swing and a miss on a fastball high. It's a 1-2 count. One pitch away from stranding those runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Harbor's experience in situations like this. You mentioned the 4 walks against the Philippines. He didn't give up an earned run, so he knows how to pitch with guys on the base paths.
Shakes off his catcher Wen and gets his sign. Payoff to Cannon King. Fastball misses high and away. So King evens the count at 2. Steps out of the lefty batter's box. We've seen a lot more homers launched at Great Park recently. Arroyo Seco had one in the meeting between these two teams on Tuesday when Owen Mangini hit one out to left field. King, of course, at the plate has 6 home runs on the season. 2-2, taken low at the knees. King works the count full.
Yeah, earlier start today as well. It's warm outside. Could potentially see some balls fly at the Great Park today.
Pitcher-friendly park, but the heat could change that. Full count offering from Harbor. Drilled out towards the third base seating area, foul, and King stays alive. If Harbor does walk King here, not the worst situation because you have the force at any base with 2 outs.
Yeah, and big thing for Arroyo Seco, too. When we were there, Avi was the left-on-base category, right? They entered that 8th inning struggling in that category, but see if they can do a better job here today.
Saints an opportunity to strike early here in the top of the first. Full count payoff. Smashed out towards second off the glove of Barth on a dive, or rather a hop from Barth. 1 run comes in. Here comes Ryder. It's a 2-0 Saints lead here in the top of the first on the 2 RBI knock from Cannon King. Just when he thought Harbor could get out of the inning, King makes him pay.
It started with the good at-bat by Cannon King. Fouled off a lot of pitches, stayed in the count. And this is a team that's motivated. The Saints have everything to play for, fighting for a playoff spot. They come out on fire.
Here's Owen Mangini, who launched that 2-run home run here at Great Park in Tuesday's contest. He's the beer batter today as he swings at the first pitch and hits it out towards Brian Evans in the Riptide dugout. Sophomore from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, stands in the righty batter's box at 6'2". Hitting .262 in 17 games, 16 hits, 12 RBIs. A member of the Nevada Wolfpack up in Reno. There's a few Nevada players on this Arroyo Seco team. Owen Mangini, Joe O'Regan, their ace who recently committed to Nevada. 0-1. Drilled out towards third again, foul.
Another favorable count for Andrew Harbor, 0-2. See if he can get out of this inning with just those 2 runs given up.
Hudson Carvalho, the Saints starter, is getting warmed up in the bullpen. Riptide down 2-0 early. Look to strike against him if Harbor can get out of this top of the first and give his bats a chance to hit in the bottom of the inning. Still works with Cannon King over at first after his 2 RBI knock. 0-2 to the beer batter. Mangini fouls it back and stays alive. It's been a lengthy first inning here for Andrew Harbor. Saints are doing a great job of seeing the ball and working the count.
Yeah, a lot of pitches being thrown by Andrew Harbor. A testament to the disciplined approach here by these Saints hitters.
It's almost at 20 pitches here in the first inning. Rocks along the rubber and deals the 0-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And now they're going to rule it a foul tip. Looked like a strikeout. I guess he just caught a piece of the baseball there.
Yeah,
Not too sure about that one.
Chris Maher definitely had a good view of it, the home plate umpire. But yeah, from up here, it looked like he just completely missed that baseball, fanned right through it. I guess not.
We are right behind home plate, so we have a great view of the action. The home plate umpire, Chris Maher, knows better than anyone, sees that the bat just got a piece of the baseball. So no beer batter strikeout. Mangini's still alive. 0-2. Fastball taken low. Just when you thought Andrew Harbor could get out of the inning, it manages to continue.
A lot of pitches being thrown in this at bat as well. Just a 1-2 count.
Plenty of foul balls here from Mangini. Looks to bring in Cannon King for the Saints' 3rd run here in the top of the first. As he has another foul ball against Harbor. It's a 1-2 count and a lengthy battle.
Well, there's a good amount of kids here at the ballpark, and it's a good day if you want some candy because there's a lot of opportunities with all these foul balls.
There's some free tickets being given away for the last home game of the season. First responders and their families, Riptide host families and sponsor families all got free deals to come to Great Park on this Saturday afternoon. 1-2 from Harbor, misses inside. So command still an issue for Andrew Harbor here out of the gate. We know that's the X factor for Harbor on the mound, whether or not he can get control of his pitches early. Saints have worked the count well against him, and it's cost him those 2 runs here via Cannon King. 2-2. On a line out towards third. Roller for Castro backs him up. Long throw over to first in time. And that's how the top of the first inning comes to a close. Cannon King draws first blood on his 2 RBI single. And it's Arroyo Seco with an early 2-0 lead here at Great Park. Riptide come up to hit for the first time when we head to the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first inning here at Great Park. It's the Arroyo Seco Saints with an early 2-0 lead after Cannon King's 2 RBI single. Riptide come up to hit for the first time today. Here's the lineup. Trajan Rogowski in center field leads things off. He's at the plate. Ryan Castro at third, bats second. Lonzo Reyes, the first baseman, hits third. Tatum Marsh, the DH, bats in the cleanup spot. Connor Barth plays at second and hits fifth. Zach Woodson in right field hits sixth. Matt Anako, Ian Wen, Hunter Harrington, shortstop, catcher, left fielder, 7, 8, and 9. It's Hudson Carvalho on the mound for the Saints, who fire strike one in on Rogowski. Get you the Saints defense after this pitch. Carvalho kicks and deals. Fastball outside for strike 2. Evan Ryder in left field. Brody Shearer in center. Cannon King in right. Sean Asperger at third. Braden Flores at short. Dylan Immel at second. Owen Mangini at first. And Nick Nishiwa does the catching for Carvalho. His 0-2 misses on a fastball outside. 6'3" sophomore from Issaquah, Washington. 6th game of the season. 3rd start. 4.02 ERA and 15 2/3 innings pitched. 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 7 walks, 13 Ks. Unable to get the 14th there as he misses outside on the slider. It's a 2-2 count. Great outing last time for Carvalho on the 18th against the Bombers. 5 innings of 1 hit, scoreless baseball. Struck out 6 Bombers hitters. It's 2-2. Check swing from Rogowski. It's a strike anyways, right down the zone. So Rogowski strikes out to lead off the Riptide home half here in the bottom of the first.
You mentioned the really good outing against the Bombers. It's a good start for Carvalho. He entered that outing against the Bombers with just 7 Ks on the year, so almost got half that total against San Diego, and he starts today off with a big punch out.
That'll bring up Ryan Castro. First pitch to the righty third baseman. Fastball right down the heart. Castro, 6-foot junior out of San Dimas, committed to play at UNLV next season. Hitting just 182 through 10 games. It's good for 6 hits, 5 RBIs as well. 0-1. Carvalho misses inside. You know, Hudson Carvalho is a great pitcher. Heard the numbers, but he's also at Oregon, one of the premier West Coast baseball programs. Pitched in just 4 games for the Ducks this past season. This is true freshman year. 1-1 dribbled out to the mound, right to the 6'3" Carvalho. And easily reaches out to grab the baseball and flips to first for the out.
Good play by the pitcher there. Stabs the baseball and hustles over to first to get the out. Yeah, Oregon, one of the best programs in the Big Ten and on the West Coast for sure. You can see the green and yellow shoes for Carvalho to rep the Ducks.
So the Oregon Duck Carvalho uses his lengthy frame to reach up high, grab the baseball, and make the out. Here's Lonzo Reyes with 2 outs and nobody on. Riptide down 2-0. First pitch from Carvalho. Taken inside for strike 1. It's been a much different story on the mound so far for Carvalho than for Andrew Harbour. Saints worked the count against Harbour. Plenty of foul balls through about 20 pitches. Carvalho has had a relatively short bottom of the first here against these Riptide bats as he misses outside.
Last time the Riptide were here, that was against the Philippines when they exploded for 6 runs in the first, but a much tougher challenge today against this Saints pitching staff.
There's a 17-0 beatdown of the Philippines as Reyes launches the ball into center field, right into the glove of Shear for the 3rd out. 1-2-3 out, first inning for Hudson Carvalho on the mound. 2-0 Arroyo Seco after an inning of play. Top of the second, this half inning brought to you by our friends at the Chick-fil-A and Woodbury Town Center. The Arroyo Seco Saints off to an early 2-0 lead after Cannon King's 2 RBI hit in the top of the first. Saints up to bat against Andrew Harbor. Dylan Emmel leads things off. First pitch from the righty. Inside on the slider for strike one. Bottom of the order due up here for the Saints. Emmel followed by Nick Nishiwa and Brody Shear. So lefty switch order against Andrew Harbor, out for his second inning of work. 0-1 bunt attempt from Emmel, taken anyways for strike two. 24 pitches already in the ball game for Andrew Harbor. Saints did a great job of fouling off baseballs in the first inning and seeing things well. 0-2. Fastball bounced out towards first on a roller to Reyes. Dives on the bag himself. Does he get the out? Yes, he does. What a play by Alonzo Reyes. Mission impossible there as he dives on the bag for the out.
Yeah, close play at first base, but Reyes, absolutely impressive right there. It was a scorcher off the bat. He gloved it cleanly and then laid out and dove to the bag and made sure he got the out himself.
Andrew Harbor was right at first base for the flip, but Reyes decides to get the highlight play himself. So there's the first out here in the top of the second. Brings up Nick Nishiwa, the Saints catcher. First pitch. Taken inside for a ball. Nishiwa, 5'8" sophomore from Kahului, Hawaii. Over at Golden West College in the Orange Empire Conference. 1-0. Fastball outside for strike one. Nishiwa hitting .304 in 14 games, 14 hits, 4 RBIs. Hit .291 this past season at Golden West. Did not play in Tuesday's game between these two squads, but started at catcher in Pasadena in Wednesday's contest. That 6-4 Saints win.
You brought up the numbers. This is a Saints team that has played a lot better these past couple of weeks to end the season. That's why they're in a good position, or a position to secure a playoff spot.
Nishiwa launches this out towards right center. Long run over for Rogowski. Makes the catch for the second out. Trajan Rogowski had to run all the way into right field. Called out Zach Woodson because he had a better read, and he made the catch for the out.
We know he has speed out there in center field. It was a long run for him. Fighting the sun here at the 1 o'clock start and makes the catch.
Brody Shear up to hit for the Saints with 2 outs. Much better start here in the second for Andrew Harbor. As he misses inside for ball one. Harbor gave up back-to-back singles to start the ball game, but here in the second he has 2 quick outs. One out of the Nebraska commit, Brody Shear. Misses outside. It's a 2-0 count. 6-foot senior out of Arcadia, California. Up for his 12th game of the season. .317 average for Shear. 13 hits, 7 RBIs. Played at McLennan College in Waco, Texas this past season. 2-0. Inside, it's a 3-0 count. And Pham, of course, is no stranger to Waco, Texas, where he spent his freshman year of college at Baylor. The two of us have firmly established that Waco is not in the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area.
There we go. There you go.
As Harbor gets a get-me-over fastball, it's a 3-1 count.
The things you learn throughout the course of a summer.
Who would have thought that Texas geography is one of them? 3-1. Drilled out towards center field. Rogowski shuffles to his right and makes the catch for the third out here in the top of the second. Bounce back inning from Andrew Harbor on the mound as he gets a 1-2-3 out second inning. Riptide come up to hit when we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning, brought to you by our friends at First Class Pizza in the Woodbury Town Center. Riptide up to hit, down 2-0. 4, 5, and 6 for Orange County against Hudson Carvalho. Tatum Marsh leads things off. First pitch from the righty Carvalho, taken for strike one. Marsh, Connor Barth, Zach Woodson due up for Orange County here in the bottom of the second as they look to even things up at 2. 0-1 from Carvalho. Check swing by Marsh. It's a strike anyways. Same location as the last pitch. It's a quick first inning of work for Hudson Carvalho. 1, 2, 3 out, bottom of the first on just 11 pitches. Lines and fires. 0-2 hit right out to the mound. Another play for Carvalho out there defensively as he flips to first for the out. Second 1-3 of the ballgame.
Yeah, it's been an almost perfect start for Hudson Carvalho. Reaches out, grabs that baseball, and in plenty of time retires Marsh. Different lineup today for the Riptide, or mixing it around at least for Brian Evans. Gotta think that's because the Riptide know that they have that #1 seed clinched.
There's Connor Barth, who was a late addition to the lineup. Dennis Fitzpatrick was scheduled to start at second. Barth makes the start instead with Fitzpatrick on other assignments. As Carvalho fires a strike. Well, Hudson Carvalho is picked up right where he left off on the mound. Those 5 scoreless innings in his last outing against the San Diego Bombers. 0-1 to Barth. The dribbler stays fair. Out towards third. Misplayed by Asperger. And that allows Connor Barth to reach. Should be ruled an infield single. I don't think it caught the glove of Asperger as he came in to scoop the baseball. Had a bad read on it and couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, third baseman there just whiffed on that baseball. It was misplayed from the get-go, and Riptide will take it. Connor Barth has his first hit of the day, and he's been a guy that's been red hot as of late for the Riptide.
They do end up ruling it an error on the third baseman Asperger. So Riptide still search for their first hit. Zach Woodson at the plate takes inside. I'm not sure about the error call because for it to be an error, it would have to touch the glove of Asperger by definition. And it didn't look like he made contact with the baseball. Ball had rolled right by that glove. 1-0. Popped up out towards left field. Easy play for Ryder as he shuffles and makes the catch with the sun in his face for the second out.
Simple fly out there for Ryder to make, and he makes the catch. That's 2 away. I agree with you, Avi. It looked like from up here at least that ball completely missed the glove, but we're not the official scorers.
Bounce back out for Hudson Carvalho on the mound after the error. Brings up Madanako. First pitch, taken inside, almost hit him, but Ako was able to jolt away. Madanako usually wears number 38, but is out here wearing 11 tonight for the Riptide. I should say this afternoon with the early start.
It's different, right? You get used to saying tonight all season long.
This is the only afternoon game of the season at home for the Riptide. As Carvalho tosses to first and checks Connor Barth. Every home game before this week was either at 7 p.m. or 5:30 for those Sunday games. And the times changed. 5 p.m. on Tuesday, 6 on Thursday, and this early 1 p.m. start here on this Saturday afternoon. As Carvalho misses outside, it's a 2-0 count to Madanako, 6'2 senior out of Los Angeles, currently in the transfer portal after 3 years at Fordham. Hitting just .059 with the Riptide in 6 games, still searching for that elusive second hit of the season. Carvalho calls for time on the mound and steps off. 2-0 to Ako. Taken high for ball 3. He was an impact player at Fordham. 238 this past season, 38 hits, 24 RBIs. Primarily played at third, but also spent some time as a DH. He's been all over the infield for the Riptide in his limited action. Late addition to this Orange County squad. 3-0. Takes a bounce in the dirt for ball 4. Barth heads over to second. He advances there anyways. Aranako works a 2-out walk. Runners at first and second for Ian Went, who has a hit in each of his 3 games played for Orange County. I'd love a hit here to tie this ball game up at 2 if he can bring both runners in.
4-pitch walk there for Carvalho. Aranako, the hits haven't been falling for him as of late, but he's been able to find ways to get on. The walks have been one of them, and does so once again. Like this here for Nishiwa to check on his catcher, or his pitcher rather.
So here's Ian White, 5'10" senior out of San Bernardino, California. Plays his collegiate ball at Western Kentucky. 4th start for the Riptide here. Another late addition in July as Orange County looked to clinch that number 1 seed, which they were able to do yesterday. One takes a fastball high and away.
It's funny how the week has gone, though. After that loss on Wednesday, it felt like, oh man, the Riptide, it's going to be a struggle towards Sunday, and they're just going to have to get some help. But here they are on Saturday, sitting and clinching the number 1 seed.
1-0 taken for strike 1. Riptide got some help from the San Luis Obispo Blues, who beat Conejo in back-to-back ball games, one in Ventura, and then the walk-off in Slow last night. So Riptide with some help from their buddies up in Slow got to clinch that number 1 seed. 1-1 right into the glove of Carvalho on a liner, and that's how the inning comes to a close. 3 plays defensively for Hudson Carvalho in this ball game so far. Catches the liner and prevents the Riptide from bringing in a run. So it stays 2-0 Arroyo Seco through 2. Top of the 3rd inning, brought to you by Fan Saves. Scan the QR code on your screen for more info. So the Arroyo Seco Saints up 2-0 already on the Riptide thanks to that 2 RBI knock from Cannon King back in the 1st inning. Top of the order due up, looking to add some damage against Harbor. Braden Flores at the plate takes ball 1 outside. It was Flores who got the Saints off to a great start. Singled in his first at-bat. Evan Ryder on deck got a base hit afterwards. As Flores swings and misses on the 1-0. 5'10" junior from Chandler, Arizona, my home state. Hitting .306 coming into this ball game. 30 hits, or rather 30 games, 39 hits after his single in the 1st inning. So he chops the baseball back.
Where is Chandler?
Chandler
Arizona.
is to the southeast of Phoenix.
Okay.
A lot of,
and now I'm learning Arizona geography.
there's a lot of great athletes that have come out of Chandler. 1-2 misses low. It's a 2-2 count. There's two very big high schools in Chandler, both public. Chandler High School and Hamilton High School, which is the biggest high school in the state. Oh, around 5,000 to 6,000 students at Hamilton. 2-2. Drilled out towards center field. Second hit of the ball game for Braden Flores, who's 2 for 2 on the day. Led off with a single in the first inning. He does the same here in the third. Evan Ryder got a hit after Flores in that first inning and looks to keep things going here.
It's been an up and down month of July for Braden Flores, but he's having himself a game. Like you said, 2 for 2, 2 knocks.
Here's Evan Ryder, who at one point had that 23-game hitting streak that the Riptide snapped on Tuesday. First pitch to Ryder. Shows bunt, dribbles it along the third base line. Harbor, the pitcher, fields it, tosses to first for the out. But Ryder gets Flores into scoring position at second.
Good play there by Andrew Harbor to scoop it up, and sometimes we see those routine plays from pitchers get airmailed or sail wide, but Andrew Harbor recognized he had a lot of time and delivered a perfect throw to get the out.
So there's one out here in the top of the third for Andrew Harbor to work with. Sean Asperger at the plate, 0 for 1 in the game. Harbor misses high and away. We just saw Ryder get out on a bunt to advance the runner. That's how Asperger got out in the first inning. Got Flores and Ryder into scoring position, and then, of course, Ken King would come through 2 batters later to give the Saints their early lead. 1-0, out towards right field foul. Talked about the stakes at play for Arroyo Seco in this ball game. If they win tonight and the Barons lose in slow, it sets up a winner-take-all game tomorrow between the two teams who are scheduled to play against each other. Saints have to wait to find out that Barons score because the game in slow doesn't start until 6 p.m. Harbor steps off the mound and checks Flores, who has to slide back into second. Just 2 other ball games today aside from this game and the slow game. Menlo Park takes on San Francisco at 6:05. Those two teams just playing for pride at this point, both eliminated. Walnut Creek, a big game in Sonoma as they look to lock down the number 1 seed in the CCL North. 1-1 from Harbor, taken inside. It's a 2-1 count. Riptide could very well play against Walnut Creek next week if they win that semifinal here on Wednesday and make it to the CCL Championship.
It's going to be competitive up in the north to see who comes out. Also in the south as well, we know Conejo is really good, the Barons, and here we're facing the Saints, who have been excellent.
2-1, right into the glove of Reyes. Doesn't have enough time to toss to second for a potential double play, but he'll take the liner at first for the out. Second out here in the top of the third.
At one point this summer, it felt like the Saints were going to miss out on the playoffs, but what a turnaround for them. They're in contention. It's going to come down to these final 2 games. I'm sure the Barons are watching the score of this one to see how it goes.
Carson Panarisi, the DH at the plate. Looks to extend this 2-0 lead with Flores dancing around at second. Harbor looks over towards Flores as a warning sign and steps off the bag to readjust on the mound. Felt like the Saints were almost dead in the water at the end of June. Really had not much going for them in that month of play. Barons were on fire. Off to one of their best starts in a while, but that MLB Academy team has slowly climbed down. Saints have gotten back into the season in the month of July, and now it's all coming down to this final 2-game stretch for both teams.
It's been a tale of 2 halves. But July, it's the month you want to be peaking in, and that's what the Saints have done.
One-0. Outside for ball 2. It's the way the Riptide season went last year, right? 0-3 to begin the month of June. Didn't really play their best baseball in June, but really got hot in July when it mattered. Almost got the number 1 seed, but ended up losing those last 2 games of the season to these Saints and to the Blues, who the Riptide play tomorrow in slow. Orange County's already clinched the 1 seed, so they don't have to fear that again, as Harbor drops a curveball inside for strike 1.
These two teams, the Saints and the Riptide, have faced each other in the playoffs in back-to-back summers. It was the Riptide in 2024 that eliminated the Saints, and we all know how last year ended with the Saints beating the Riptide right here at Great Park.
2-1. Fastball swung on and missed outside. It's an even count. There was a very real situation coming into this week where we could have had the same scenario as last season with the Riptide losing out their last 2 games to miss out on the 1 seed, but thankfully that's not the case for Orange County. Saints look to shock the world and see Orange County in the semifinal on Wednesday. 2-2. Curveball drilled out towards short, a bouncer into the glove of Acco, turns around, fires to first, and gets the out. Great play defensively at shortstop from Matt and Acco. Turnaround throw to first to put an end to this top of the 3rd inning. So the score stays 2-0. Orange County looks to even us up in the home half of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Great Park. Riptide down 2-0 to the Saints. This half inning brought to you by Marucci, the official outfitter of the OC Riptide. Orange County goes back to work against Hudson Carvalho on the mound. 9-1-2 for the Riptide. Hunter Harrington, Trajan Rogowski, Ryan Castro. Trio of righties against the righty Carvalho, who's been outstanding on the mound. Fires a first pitch strike on the outside edge. 1-2-3 out, 1st inning for Carvalho. Looked like it would be the case in the 2nd, but Connor Barth reached on the error. Matanaka worked a 2-out walk, and Carvalho caught the ball in a liner himself to put an end to the inning and prevent a run from coming across. Quickly ahead 0-2 here on Hunter Harrington. 6'2 freshman from San Diego. Takes this pitch inside. It's a 1-2 count. Harrington playing for the Riptide straight out of high school. Hitting 174 in 14 games, 8 hits, 9 RBIs. Heading to Stanford next season with his brother Alex, another baseball player. Takes the 1-2 high.
Oh, Harrington has been mired in a little bit of a slump as of late, just 1 for his last 12. Today's a game that is a good opportunity for him to get back on the right track and break out of this slump.
2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Maybe the announcer's jinx there as Harrington immediately strikes out.
Just bad timing right there, but good pitch from Carvalho to induce a swing and a miss for out number 1.
So Harrington goes down for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Warming up Trajan Rogowski. 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out looking on a check swing in his first at-bat. First pitch from Carvalho. Curveball inside. Just a little high for ball 1. Funny story about Hunter Harrington, who was just at the plate. He went to Cathedral Catholic High School in San Diego, one of the premier athletic schools down there. I went to Brophy Prep in Phoenix. Brophy had a football game at Cathedral Catholic. It was called the Honor Bowl. I believe it was my sophomore or junior year of high school. And I got to go out to San Diego for the weekend with my family, call the game, relax on the beach. 2-0. Taken for strike 1. Little did I remember that Hunter Harrington played in that game as a wide receiver for Cathedral Catholic. I was talking about it with him yesterday at the MLB Academy, and we were kind of reminiscing on that football game. 2-1 taken inside on the curve. It's a 2-2 count to Trajan Rogowski.
So who ended up winning the game?
Brophy.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So we got the win. Hunter Harrington was at wide receiver. He played against one of our better players in Cree Thomas, who's now a defensive back at Colorado. 2-2. Fastball outside, clips the edge for strike 3. So Rogowski goes down looking for the second time today. 2 quick outs for Carvalho, both strikeouts here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan Castro up to hit.
Carvalho's looked really comfortable on the mound. Like you said, back-to-back Ks. Good start for him once again.
There's Castro, who's 0 for 1. And a ball and a dribbler out towards Carvalho in his first plate appearance. Swings and misses at the first offering. Well, Hudson Carvalho looks like the kind of pitcher that the Ducks would recruit out of high school. Stealing on the mound so far. No hits, 3 strikeouts. It's Castro to swing and miss again on a fastball. Ryan Castro's had a tough time against the Saints. If you take his first plate appearance into account, he's 0 for 9 against Arroyo Seco on the season. 0-2. Popped up our way, foul. No foul ball play for us here in the press box. I almost got a foul ball yesterday at the Academy.
Did you really?
It went right over my head and took a bounce on the fence behind me.
Did you chase after it afterwards, or?
No, I couldn't. It would look kind of embarrassing. 0-2. Fastball misses outside. It's a 1-2 count. When we were in Pasadena on Wednesday, we had the foul ball go right over our heads into the brushes. I believe you went to look for it after the inning was over, but you came up fruitless.
Well, I didn't want to dig through the bushes. I just made a business decision that I wasn't going to do that.
That's fair. 1-2. Fastball outside.
It was the closest I've ever been to getting a foul ball, though. And you heard my oh my, right? I thought I was going to get hit by it.
Came right in the middle of the broadcast. Sounded like you were scared for your life there. 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Hudson Carvalho comes out for the bottom of the 3rd and strikes out the side. Saints lead 2-0 as we head to the middle innings of play. Top of the fourth, brought to you by Richardson, the official headgear provider of the CCL. Saints out in front here, 2-0 against the Riptide. Cannon King leads things off. Thinks outside for ball one. King, Mangini, Immel, lefty, righty, lefty against Andrew Harbor, out for his fourth inning of work. It was Cannon King at the plate who got the Saints out in front. His 2 RBI single in the first. 1-0. High pop up out towards third. Shuffling in as Castro makes the catch in the sun for the first out.
Andrew Harbor has settled into this game pretty nicely after that first inning where, like you said, the 2 runs came across. A couple bounce-back innings for him.
So with 1 out and the base is empty, here's Owen Mangini. Beer batter grounded out in his first at-bat. Looks to chase that home run he had here at Great Park on Tuesday. Harbor winds and deals. This is inside. Andrew Harbor pitched at USC this past season, coming off of injury. Just 3 appearances on the season for the Trojans. Earned his degree at SC and decided to hit the transfer portal. 1-0 swung on and missed by Mangini. It's a 1-1 count. Comes from an athlete family. His grandfather, John, played basketball for the Arizona Wildcats in the late 1960s. Brother Brian was also a pitcher. He's recently stepped away from baseball.
And we saw Brian with the Riptide earlier this summer. Really cool guy, fun to talk to in the outfield. But yeah, we talked about the athletic genetics. Andrew Harbor, his family's surrounded by sports.
The Harbors are smart individuals. Brian Harbor wants to work in stats or analytics, maybe finance. Andrew Harbor is working an internship while pitching for the Riptide.
It's impressive.
Talk about multitasking.
That's cool. Yeah, the opportunity to pursue a career after baseball and get some experience, but also play some summer ball. That's got to be a cool feeling for him.
Works with a 1-2 count on the beer batter, Owen Mangini. Kicks and deals. Out towards third, foul.
Most likely why we see Andrew Harbor pitch on the weekends for the Riptide, because he's busy during the actual week.
A guy that's practically been the Sunday starter for Orange County all season, but he's been bumped up a day earlier to start here on the Saturday afternoon. Outside of that 2-run first inning, it's been relatively smooth sailing for Andrew Harbor. Just the leadoff single given up in the third to Braden Flores. Check swing from Mangini. Pitches low, appeal to first. No go, says Martin Ramirez.
Well, Mangini's the beer batter. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is alcohol already discounted today since it's the last game of the summer, a regular season game of the summer? A lot of stuff is discounted.
2-2 out towards third. Another play for Castro. Toss over to Reyes for the out. I'm not sure if beer is discounted. I doubt it. But what is discounted is the merchandise here. Final game of the season. I got this very comfortable Riptide hoodie that I'm wearing right now for just $15.
You know, I was going to run down pregame and grab one myself. Just ran out of time. But it does look good on you. Looks like a really good hoodie.
Nice and comfy here in the press box with the new hoodie. 2 outs here. Base is empty for Dylan Emmel. First pitch misses inside to Emmel, who's 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to Reyes at third. You might be wondering why I'm wearing a hoodie in 89-degree weather. It's nice and cold here in the press box, and I do get cold a little easily, so not a bad idea to have the hoodie on. 1-0. Drilled out towards second. A bouncer into the glove of a sliding Barth. Tossed to first on the ground for the out. Connor Barth, what a play to put an end to the inning. Flashes the leather and makes the throw over to end this top of the fourth inning. Still 2-0 Saints. Riptide look to do something with the bats when they come back. Bottom of the fourth inning is brought to you by the Fairmont Schools in San Juan Capistrano. Hudson Carvalho is shoving on the mound so far for the Saints. No hits given up in 3 innings of work. He's worked 4 strikeouts in the ball game, 3 of those in the last inning. 3, 4, and 5 for the Riptide. Lonzo Reyes leads things off and swings back. The first pitch he sees foul. Reyes, Marsh, and Connor Barth up for the Riptide. Lefty Reyes at the plate, followed by a pair of righties. Lonzo Reyes 0 for 1 in the game with a fly out to center field. 0-1. Taken down low for ball 1. Reyes looks to get back on track here. Had a 4-game hitting streak and a 12-game on-base streak coming into yesterday's game at the Academy. Ended up getting both of those snapped. 1-1. Takes a bounce in the dirt and misses way outside.
Yeah, you know what they say, all good things come to an end at some point. It's a good Barons team that he went 0 for 4 against. See if he can bounce back here towards the end of the season.
You know he's a great hitter. He's hitting nearly 300 on the season. Hit 270 at UC Irvine this past season with the Anteaters. 50 hits, 34 RBIs, and 4 home runs. Carvalho misses outside. It's a 3-1 count. We've seen Carvalho get ahead in the count multiple times, but he was behind here against Reyes to start the bottom of the 4th. Fires inside and misses for a walk. Second free pass of the ball game given up by Carvalho. Reyes works the leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 4th.
It's the first time of the day that the leadoff man has reached for the Riptide. Orange County still searching for that first hit.
So here's the DH, Tatum Marsh, as the Riptide offense looks for some life here in the bottom of the 4th. Down 2-0, and as Aiden mentioned, still without a hit. Tatum Marsh, who has a 3-game on-base streak, looks to get aboard and extend it. First pitch to the DH. Hits him on the shoulder, and he does exactly that.
Just wears one on the shoulder, Tatum Marsh does. Hey, that helps towards the on-base streak, and it'll prompt the first mound visit of the day.
Surprising from Hudson Carvalho, who's been so sharp on the mound for the Saints through his first 3 innings. Struck out the side in the 3rd, hasn't given up a hit. Only runners that got aboard before Reyes and Marsh here in the 4th were the 2 back in the 2nd inning. Barth on the error from 3rd. Acco on the only walk that Carvalho had before this inning, but he walks Lonzo Reyes to lead things off. Hits Tatum Marsh just now, and now there's a mound visit for the Saints as they talk things over with their starter.
Yeah, nobody warming up in the bullpen for Arroyo Seco, so this is just a chance for Carvalho to calm down here. He's been pitching well all game long. Just a shaky start to this inning.
So the mound visit's over. Saints pitching coach heads back to the dugout. We'll see if Carvalho can bounce back with no outs. Runners at first and second. And Connor Barth at the plate, who has had a hot bat as of late. 3-game hitting streak, 9-game on-base streak. Had back-to-back multi-hit games before he extended that hit streak yesterday. Guy that has broken out of that mid-season slump at the plate. Committed to play at USC Upstate in South Carolina next season. Carvalho looks towards second and fires. Strike catches the outer edge.
It's been a good month of June for Connor Barth defensively, and he brought up the numbers.
He's been the everyday second baseman for Brian Evans' squad. Riptide have been very successful when he bats in the 5 spot, as he takes the strike low. 18 RBIs on the season for Connor Barth. Tying run over at first in Tatum Marsh. Led the Big 8 this past season with 55 RBIs over at Folsom Lake College. 0-2. Swung on out towards first. It hits off the ankle of Tatum Marsh. And now we'll see how they rule this. So Marsh is out because the baseball hit him. Barth is safe. Awkward first out here in the bottom of the fourth. But it does set up runners on the corners. Or at least it should. Now Alonzo Reyes is heading back to second. So I believe because Marsh was hit on the foot, he's out. Reyes has to stay at second, and Barth is over at first. Awkward play, but it is runners at first and second with one out.
Yeah, just an unfortunate series of events there for the Riptide. Tatum Marsh was hustling the second base and just clipped a piece of that baseball, and as a result, it's runners on first and second now for the Riptide.
First pitch taken by Zach Woodson on a slider for a strike. We'll see exactly how that play gets ruled. It's not a hit for Connor Barth, so the Riptide are still searching for their first hit here in the bottom of the fourth, but he's aboard nonetheless. Tying run at first is Barth. 0-1 lifted out towards the Riptide bullpen foul.
Looks like David O'Neill is getting warm in the bullpen for the Riptide.
Saw a new pitch on Wednesday against this Saints squad. Had to come in that 6-run bottom of the 8th inning. It's Noah DeBella, who gave up 5 runs, exited the ball game. 0-2. Out towards left field. Ryder moves back, shuffles, and makes the catch for the second out. So 2 bounce back outs here from Hudson Carvalho. Madanako looks to bring the runners in as he still searches for his second hit of the season.
And what a time it would be with runners on for Madanako. Had a good at-bat the last time he was up. He was walked. He was looking for his first hit against these Saints here.
Did draw the walk, as Aiden mentioned, in his first at-bat. The other walk from Carvalho came in this inning by Alonzo Reyes. As Carvalho misses high, it's a 1-0 count. Reyes led the inning off with his walk. He's at second. Connor Barth is at first after reaching on that awkward interference play when the ball bounced off of Tatum Marsh's ankle to get him out. 1-0. Curveball drops below the zone. Malacco looks for a better ending to his summer here after having just the one hit through his first 6 games. He is still in the transfer portal after leaving Fordham. Spent 3 seasons in the Bronx with the Rams. Carvalho steps off and checks Reyes at second. It's very fitting that Akko's on this squad with another Fordham Ram, Bradley Boudreaux, also on this Riptide team. As the 2-0's taken inside, it's a 3-0 count. Akko with an opportunity to work his second walk of the game. It's almost a passing of the torch between one Fordham third baseman to another. Akko, of course, is leaving Fordham after 3 seasons playing at third. Bradley Boudreaux is the next of kin. Akko would love to get the walk here to load the bases with 2 outs. Carvalho has struggled with command here in this 4th inning. Misses down low. It's a walk. Second base on balls here in the ball game for Madanako. So he's over at first. Reyes advances to third. Barth at second. Bases are juiced with 2 outs for Ian Wen, who has a hit. And each of his games he's played for the Riptide. Looks for his 4th hit here in his 4th game. Had the go-ahead knock against this Saints squad in the 8th inning on Tuesday.
Best opportunity all game here for the Riptide. Bases loaded.
Still searching for that elusive first hit of the ball game. First pitch taken high for a ball. We talked about the game on Tuesday. Riptide got off to an early 1-0 lead. Saints put up 4 runs in the 5th inning to give themselves a 4-1 lead. Riptide would match it with 3 runs in the 6th. And Ian Wen got the go-ahead hit in the 8th. As he lifts the ball out towards left field, that's going to carry towards the wall and drop down for a base hit. 1 run comes in. Here comes Barth. Akko on his way home. Bases clearing double for Ian Wen. 4th hit of the season. In his 4th game of the season, he has hit well against this Saints squad.
Well, there you go. Ian Wen got a good piece of that baseball, sent it far out to left. Long run for Ryder, and it got by his glove, and the Riptide just like that in front.
It was going so well for Hudson Carvalho on the mound. 3 shutout innings, including that 3rd inning when he struck out the side. But here in the 4th, he's had command issues. Leadoff walk, hit by pitch immediately after. Walk to Akko with 2 outs to load the bases. And Ian Wen makes him pay with the bases clearing double. So the Riptide with their first hit out in front. Hunter Harrington up to bat. Fastball taken for strike 1. How about the impact that Ian Wen has had for the Riptide in just 4 games?
Yeah, hits in all of them. Riptide were searching for that first hit of the game, and it was a big one from Nguyen.
0-1 to Harrington. This is low in the dirt for a ball. Hunter Harrington struck out in his first at-bat. Looks to break out of the slump he's had at the plate. It's been a tough go of things offensively, but you can't really blame him. He's playing straight out of high school. And even with the numbers, he's getting that experience against collegiate players before he plays in college. As he takes a pitch outside, it's a 2-1 count.
Yeah, it's tough to beat. You were just playing high school ball a couple months ago, but now it's a good chance to get acclimated and warmed up as he heads off to Stanford come the fall.
Two-one. Misses low and inside. It's a 3-1 count. Command issues continue here for Carvalho.
It's been 2 walks and a hit by pitch so far in this inning. Just looking to find that 3rd and final out and get the Saints bats back up.
He's in danger of working his 3rd walk of the inning and 4th of the ballgame. Leadoff man on deck in Trajan Rogowski. There's some action in the Saints bullpen as a pitcher starts to stretch out there, not throwing. It's Lincoln Lyons who's starting to get loose there in the Saints bullpen. Harrington fouled off that baseball to get a strike, so the count's full. Carvalho 1 pitch away from getting out of this mess. Already gave up the bases clearing double to Ian Wen, who stands over at second. First hit of the ball game gave the Riptide a 3-2 lead. Angel Escobar, another Saints pitcher, walking into the bullpen as well. Hard hit out towards center field on a liner into the glove of Shear for the 3rd out. So the inning comes to a close, but Ian Wen clears the bases on his double out towards left field. It's a 3-2 Riptide lead. Brandon Weiland joins us when we head to the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th inning here at Great Park. Riptide lead the Saints 3-2 after Ian Wen's bases clearing double in the bottom of the 4th inning. Avi Singh, Aiden Pham, and special guest Brandon Weiland, who was lights out on the mound at the Academy yesterday in the Riptide win. 5 innings of shutout baseball, just 1 hit while striking out 6 batters. How was it out there, Brandon?
Man, it was awesome. Getting into the game, just feeling good, having that confidence. Not letting the situation, get too big. So yeah, just felt good out there. Obviously, feeling good with the fastball, and just had a great time out there and had some fun. Glad we get the win.
David O'Neill, the new pitcher out here for the Riptide. Nick Nishiwa due up. Gets the ball out towards right field for a base hit. So Nishiwa's immediately aboard to start the 5th inning.
Oh, Brandon, it's now 7 straight scoreless outings for you. What's been working so well for you on the mound here towards the end of the summer?
Yeah, just trusting the process. Coming into this summer, obviously not getting the, being able to pitch much last year, and just, getting back in the groove like I was, back home at Cypress, and just coming out and trusting myself, trusting my teammates, and just having a great time and having fun is the most important.
Shear goes first pitch, swinging, toss to second for 1, flip to first for the double play.
Nice.
So Nick Nishiwa swings on the first pitch and gets a hit. Brody Shear does the same thing, but hits right into a double play.
How fun has it been to see Connor Barth and what he's done at second base?
Oh, man. He's a stud. Great guy to be around, great athlete, such a, one of those guys you just want to have on your team. Just a pleasure to share the field with him and to be, one of his teammates. It's awesome.
2 outs for Braden Flores, who takes strike 1. Your 5 innings helped the Riptide clinch the number 1 seed in the CCL South. What was the feeling like when you guys found out that Conejo had lost up in Slow?
Yeah, obviously to get the win beforehand was awesome. Come on, nice. It was awesome just to be able to clinch and have that, pressure taken off of us was big. So it was awesome.
Runner out to Connor Barth, ends the top of the 5th inning. Brandon, do you want to stay with us for the bottom of the 5th?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, one more half inning with Brandon Weiland when we come back as the Riptide come up to hit in the bottom of the 5th, up 3-2.
This half inning is brought to you by Sign Design. Aiden Pham alongside Avi Singh, Brandon Weiland back for a second inning. Was that the quickest inning I think we've seen all game long?
That was unbelievable. O'Neill, great contact guy, got us out of the inning and the help of Barth too. So it was a great inning for him.
Angel Escobar, the new pitcher in the game for the Saints, the righty. His first pitch to Rogalski is outside for ball one. You were talking in between innings about your Cypress days, and I know a lot of guys that went to Cypress College, and they talk about how great that program is. What did that do for you in your journey to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, the program itself, before we talk about the baseball aspect, just the camaraderie, the background that Cypress has. You talk to anyone and you mention Cypress, they automatically know you're going to a great program. You're going to a great, abundance of coaches. So it was awesome. It definitely, made me, who I am today as a pitcher. And just the coaches that were there, the teammates I had, I couldn't have asked for a better experience.
2-1 count against Rogalski. Escobar's pitch low and away. It's a 3-1 count. Well, Trajan Rogalski looking to get on for the first time today. He's struck out looking twice.
So you spent some time at Cypress. You got the offer from Utah Tech. You've been over in St. George, entering your second season there. What's it been like over in Utah?
Yeah, obviously playing, going from a junior college to Division I's, a big difference. I describe junior college as just, grittier. You have guys that have the potential of going Division I, and they showcase themselves and get their offer, and then you go up to Division I and you play those guys that kind of have had that maturity or your development since high school. So it's definitely a different ball game. It was awesome being up in St. George. I'm excited to be back. We lost a lot of guys, pretty much our whole lineup, a lot of our pitchers. So I'm excited to meet the new group and to develop to have a good year.
Rogalski was walking. Castro takes ball number 1-0. Also, I think a lot of people should acknowledge that JUCO ball in California, the level of competition is insane.
Oh, yeah. You look at junior colleges, other states, it's nowhere to compare to what you have here in Southern California. I mean, you got the best of the best. There's junior colleges here that could compete against, NCAA schools in a heartbeat. So, it's definitely a great competition to play in.
I was talking to A.J. Frausto about that the other day and his experience in the tournament with Santa Ana, how competitive all these schools are, especially in the Orange Empire Conference.
Yeah, the OAC is a monster. I was fortunate enough to get a play in the Final Four in 24 and 25. And it was awesome just to play against these teams that not necessarily get to play against in the regular season, and it's a great feeling.
Rogalski slides in safely to second base, 17th steal of the summer for him. Well, the other day we were on the bus back from Arroyo Seco.
Oh boy!
I think we gotta address this.
All right,
we were playing imposter.
Yep.
For the folks at home, the word was chimney, and I said tube, and you gave me a lot of flack for that.
Yeah. Let's get into that. So yeah, I was just a little confused. Confuzzled would probably be a better word. Just didn't understand. What was your mindset or your thinking behind tube? Let's just talk that back. Okay. I know Javi was in this game too. So what was your thought process behind saying tube out of all words describing a chimney?
Yeah, let's address this. So as the pitch to Castro was a strike. Santa Claus, I was thinking of Santa Claus. He slides down the chimney, right? Okay. And then I thought slides down a chimney. I was thinking of a slide. So a tube, a chimney. But then I was also told that a chimney is not
a cylinder. It's a square.
Uh-huh.
So, and then, I've thought about it. I just think it was a bad choice of words.
Hands up, I agree. Yeah, it's a fun game, and it's one of those things you bond with. As we talk about teams-wise, you bond with each other, hey, it was a fun time. We'll replay that back and hopefully get a better word next time.
Yeah. Well, you had a word. What was it? Intriguingly smart.
Hey, my hint word was smart. I added intriguingly in the front, and hey, I won that round. I got you guys. So there we go.
Big pitch coming up. 3-2 count against Castro. Rogalski on second. Pitch home.
Nice.
Outside ball 4, back-to-back walks to begin this inning for the Riptide.
Chris, a great umpire, by the way, the home plate. OEC right there. OEC umpire.
I saw you talking to him earlier. Were you guys catching up? Or?
Yeah. I was fortunate enough to have him all throughout Cyprus. Came up to Utah, made his Division I umpiring debut last year, and got a tie. Actually threw out our catcher. One of the last games of the year, he ejected him, and we were just chatting up about that, and just catching up.
Speaking of catcher, you spent some time now with the Riptide, and Nate Pone has been one of your catchers. He's heading to Utah Tech next season. What's it been like to develop that relationship with Nate here with the Riptide before you guys head over to St. George?
Yeah, obviously, a catcher and pitcher duo is very big, and to be able to experience that with him is awesome. I knew of him before coming here. I knew he committed to Utah Tech, and now to see what a great guy he is. My parents and his parents are getting to know each other well. Just that chemistry him and I are building together is awesome. He's a great catcher, gritty ball player. You ask him to do something. You ask him, hey, can you catch a bullpen? Can you play catch? He's on it like that. So definitely a great guy, and I'm excited to continue my career with him.
Here's the lefty Alonzo Reyes. Ball down low, a 1-0 count. Some command issues early in this outing for Escobar. We talked about catchers, right? A lot of depth on this team for the Riptide. You got Nguyen, who just got added, but Neufeld, Klauser. What was it like to work with all these catchers and the depth in that room?
Yeah, as a pitcher and as, just a teammate, obviously guys are added throughout the year. You don't know, obviously who you're getting, that game. It's just throughout the year you build your connection with all of them. You see, how they like to call a game behind the plate. You see how they work, what their flaws are. And so it was awesome just to get to know all these guys. I think I had a chance to pitch to every one of them. And it was just a great experience getting to work with all these guys. Great catchers, and I wish them the best in their careers.
Well, your pitching mechanics. That was a fastball there, but I don't know if you've noticed this curveball that Angel Escobar's throwing. It's almost like an ephus. It looks so slow coming to the plate.
Yep. Yeah, I watch these guys, and I just wish that I could, developed one of those, just like that right there, and almost fair. Just like that, how they just snaps out of their hands, and that's what I'm trying to work on. But I think for now the fastball is going to be my off-speed pitch too. I'm going to start saying that's my off-speed pitch.
So when you're coming up in the system as a pitcher, right, and you decide that you want to stay on the mound full time, how do you develop your pitching arsenal? Does it just come to you naturally based off of what feels good when you grip the baseball, or?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the year you make adjustments. Speaking of adjustments, Evans and I were working on, changing up my change-up grip, and it's worked very well. So you just kind of mess around with things. You talk to different guys about what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And you kind of just, have a feel for it, mess around, and kind of play with it a little bit. It's not something you kind of just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to do this. You kind of just have a feel throughout the year, and until you kind of build your arsenal and you stick with it.
No outs, 2-2 count, 2 runners on here for Reyes. Escobar delivers, and it's drilled out towards center field. Long run for sure, drifting back. He makes the catch. And that's out number 1 of this inning. You're a two-way guy. We've seen you take BP with the Riptide. You also played second base for a game. You haven't swung the bat yet, though, in an actual game.
Yeah, was super close to getting up to the plate. Wish that last strike was called a ball, but it's like I said before. It's one of those things where I keeps myself active. It gets me on the field. I enjoy it. I have fun, and I don't take any second of it for granted. So I'm grateful for every opportunity I get, and like last time, I was able to help when I could, and I'm gonna continue to do that.
There's a few two-way guys on this team. There's you, obviously. Dayton Thompson is a two-way guy. Julian Hines, Brock Folds, who's usually at shortstop for the Riptide, also pitches. Is there a reason why guys usually specialize in summer ball and they don't play two-way?
I believe so. So for example, our my coach up in Utah, really wanted me to specify on pitching, and coming here, that's what I've been doing, and not saying I can't take BP, but they bring in guys summer ball for each position, and there's not necessarily room, but when the time comes, if you need for an emergency like the other night, it will happen. But you really want to work on your craft and what's your main position in summer ball, and that's what these guys are doing. So
Batter up is Tatum Marsh. It's a 2-1 count. I know we're getting towards the end of the summer, still playoffs next week, but what has your time with the Riptide meant to you, and how much fun have you had this year?
Oh man, I was just talking about this. This is awesome. Just to play in hometown, to communicate and to talk with you guys, the teammates, my coaches. It's been awesome just to experience this. I'm excited to come back next summer and play. I've already been in talks with EC and Gran, and I can't wait for it.
Ripped right up the middle, windmill around third for Rogowski. He's in a score. It's an RBI knock for Tatum Marsh. The Riptide in front of this one, 4-2.
It's been a good inning here for the Riptide. 2 walks. Tatum Marsh just brought in a run. What have you seen from these Riptide bats? And you have insight as a pitcher as well, obviously. What can Escobar do to fix his stuff out there on the mound and try and get out of this inning?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you want to fill up the zone. You can't necessarily stop us from hitting, but you can take a breath. One thing, Eric Coleman's our third base coach down there taught me this summer. It's really been working. Is when things aren't going your way, you might not necessarily be having the command you want. You take a breath. You take off. You step off the mound. Swipe the foot on the dirt and reset. It's all about that, not carrying over your last appearance or your last pitch into the next. So, if you were to give an advice for him, just take a sec, fill up the zone, and let the defense do the work. So, obviously, we're hitting well right now, so it's a plus to us. But, it's all about resetting and focusing on the next pitch.
This is Connor Barth. He's been on twice. It was an error and a fielder's choice the last time he was up. 0-2.
Oh, come on.
Fly ball deep left field. Ryder working back towards the warning track, and he makes the catch. That's out number 2.
Nice hit.
I feel like we've seen a lot of these hard contact baseballs where it looks promising and starts to carry, and for some reason it just dies along the warning track.
Yep. Yeah, that's what this I feel like this park has done. You obviously as a pitcher we enjoy that, but as a hitter it might be a little frustrating at times. You smoke a ball, you crush a ball, and it's a little deceiving. I would say it doesn't go as far as you'd like it, but yeah, definitely a lot of hard hits here this summer.
2 outs. This is Zach Woodson, the lefty. Pitch from Escobar. Ground ball to first base. Glove by Mangini. Trots over to the bag and gets the out himself. Riptide add one more run. It's an RBI single from Tatum Marsh. We're headed towards the top of the 6th. Riptide 4, Arroyo Seco 2. Well, Brandon Weiland, thanks for being up in the booth with us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
This half inning is brought to you by the Russell Legal Group. Top of the 6th inning, Aiden Pham alongside Avi Singh with you. The Riptide lead this ball game 4-2 against the Saints in a game that is a must-win if you're Arroyo Seco. Orange County has already clinched the #1 seed. So just looking to finish the regular season strong. Bats are back up for the Saints. Inning starts off with Evan Ryder. David O'Neill, second inning of work for him. Righty on righty, and the pitch. Missed tie for ball number 1. O'Neill making his 4th appearance of the summer. Most recently at Azusa Pacific, but looking for his next school. Here's the 1-0. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes.
He was put in a tough situation in his last outing back on Wednesday against these Saints. Came in that 8th inning, bases loaded. Arroyo Seco would strike for 6 runs and win the ball game.
2-0 from O'Neill. Just missed outside for a 3-0 count. Yeah, that was a game in which the Riptide lost 6-4. Those 6 runs for the Saints came in the same inning. Always a tough spot to come in when you got base runners on if you're a pitcher. 3-0. In the zone for strike 1.
The Saints were up 2-0 here, but the Riptide have struck back. Bases clearing double from Ian Wen. Tatum Marsh with the run in the last inning to make it a 4-1 ball game. 4-2 rather. It's do or die for the Saints here. They need this win if they want to stay in playoff contention.
Bloop to the second baseman Barth, who makes the catch. And that is out number 1. Connor Barth has had himself a day, Avi.
He's been a busy guy out there at second base. Had the double play in the last inning, got the liner to put an end to the inning, and gets another liner here to start this 6th inning.
Here's Sean Asperger, digs into the left-handed batter's box. He's 0 for 3 today. Had a productive out, though, in the first when he advanced both the base runners. And the first offering from O'Neill was a strike. Count is 0-1.
Well, it's a little funny, isn't it, right? Connor Barth was not scheduled to start today. It was supposed to be Dennis Fitzpatrick, but of course Fitzpatrick is not here with the Riptide today, so Connor Barth had to come in as a late adjustment, and he's made an impact defensively over at second.
Fly ball to left. Harrington makes the catch. That's 2 away. Things work out in the end for the Riptide. Connor Barth has made some spectacular plays defensively, and he's been on a couple times for the Riptide as well.
It's been a good outing here from David O'Neill. Just that hit given up to start his outing in the last inning against Nick Nishiwa, but he got the double play, and he's been able to work 4 straight outs.
Righty Carson Panarisi takes strike 1 from O'Neill. Panarisi hitting .300 against the Riptide this summer, but he's 0 for 2 in this game. Both of them ground outs. 0-1 from O'Neill. Down and away, a ball and a strike.
Lincoln Lyons is still warming up in the Saints bullpen, so you wonder if he'll come in for Angel Escobar, who gave up the run in the last inning.
2 outs and the 1-1 from O'Neill. Blooped foul towards the parking lot on the right side, 1-2. Well, Panarisi had a big day yesterday in that win for the Saints against Santa Maria. 3 for 4, 2 singles. He also had a 2-run homer. And the 1-2. Ooh, up and in, and Panarisi twisted out of the way, and you can hear the bang off the backstop. Count is 2-2.
It was a major win for the Saints yesterday against Santa Maria to stay alive and stay in playoff contention. Offense has to find a way to get back into this one for Arroyo Seco to keep their playoff hopes alive.
O'Neill looks for out number 3. Kicks the leg, fires the pitch, chased on and missed. It's a 1-2-3 inning for O'Neill to get out of it. And we're headed towards the bottom of the 6th. Special guest joining us in the broadcast booth when we come back. 4-2. Welcome back to the Great Park. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Aiden Pham alongside Avi Singh and a special guest, our GM, David Lamb. Oh, David, welcome up to the broadcast booth. I know you're usually busy during the games, but I'm glad we were able to get you up.
Appreciate you guys having me up. Last home game of the season. It's nice to come up here in the air conditioning because it's a little bit warm down there.
It is warm down there. Matt Inako leading off this inning for the Riptide, the righty. Well, I'll ask you this. How long have you been with the Riptide, and can you talk about the growth of the internship program here?
Sure. So my wife and I originally started as host families in 2018. And we hosted a player then, started hosting players in 2019, hosted 2. And then eventually moved into the front office to the point where after the ownership change, I've been moved into the GM position. So
0-2 count against Ako, new pitcher in the game, Lincoln Lyons, the righty out of Occidental College.
Well, you're responsible, of course, for Omaha, the Bat Dog. She's off today with the heat, but
correct.
What's the growth that you've seen from Omaha from last season to this season? Because I feel like she's been on her A game throughout the year.
She really, really has. Speaking of A game, we got ourselves a base hit there. So nicely done, gentlemen. Her first year was 2024. So plenty of trials and tribulations and a steep learning curve to the point where at the end of that season, we felt it was we felt confident enough to be able to shop her around to the different minor league teams. And then last year, she was her first year with the Lake Elsinore Storm. And then this is her second year with the Storm. So she's really kind of gotten into a rhythm. But yes, she's come a long way. You should have seen her in 2024. There was some fun action there.
Here's Ian Nguyen. How cool has it been to see the excitement from the little kids and all the fans when they realize, oh, there's a Bat Dog?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny in the fact that I never thought I would actually have a dog, and celebrity is a little bit of a stretch of a term, but it's kind of crazy to have an actual dog that goes to a stadium and people know her name. They point at her. They're like, "Oh, that's the dog that's out there grabbing the bats." So it's been a lot of fun for sure.
One thing that you love to tell us is that we're in the business of making memories, and there's been plenty of great memories from this season. Are there any moments that maybe stick out to you that the Riptide staff has done a good job of bringing in, whether it's a theme night or a Little League that has been hosted at the Great Park?
I mean, it's hard to put my finger. Well, one does stick out. I will say this. There have been a lot, but one does stick out, and it was Father's Day. And it wasn't just because that was our best attended night, and one of our bigger, more prominent Little Leagues all came out in force. Seaview Little League out of Huntington Beach, they came out that day in force, which is always a great night. And then, but the fact that we were able to do pregame catch in the outfield, the players and their dads, fans and their dads, the Little League, the players and their dads, I mean, the entire outfield was completely filled with dads and their kids playing catch. And I mean, what's more quintessential Father's Day than having a catch with dad at a beautiful ballpark on a beautiful day? That's probably going to be, if I had to point to one memory from this season, Father's Day and that pregame, and it was just 10 minutes. That's going to stick out the most.
First two batters have reached this inning for the Riptide. Ako's on second. Nguyen was just walked. I think another cool day was homecoming. And as the GM, you've got the chance to follow the interns after they leave here with the Riptide and progress in their careers. What's that process been like for you?
It's been really, really fun, to the point where we actually have two interns from last year came to today's game. So Caitlin and Daniela from our marketing department last year, they decided to come back for today's game, even though it wasn't. Oh, do we have a double play?
Ball to second for one. The Turner first, not in time.
Attaboy Martine, way to give the safe side. I also umpire with a number of these umpires, so I know all these guys. It's really, really cool to see a lot of them come back. But what I really take pride in is when I get to see them on LinkedIn and staying connected with them on LinkedIn after their time with the Riptide has come to a close. and they're now working and following their career aspirations and working in sports. That's super, super cool. Love to see those announcements of, oh, I've just accepted this job, or oh, I've been promoted to this job, and they're really following their dreams. And not that interning for the Riptide was what set them on that path, but it's definitely a part of their journey. Oh, we got to pick off now, it looks like.
Harrington caught in a pickle,
great.
throw to second. Saints trying to chase him down, but through the back door goes Akko. He scores. Harrington's out, but the Riptide do add a run. It's 5-2 here in the bottom of the 6th.
That might have been by design, I have a feeling. I think that might be a EC Eric Coleman special right there.
So with 2 outs, up is Trajan Rogowski.
But to put a period on that point is it's so fun to see, and I've been doing this for long enough to be able to see a lot of our interns, alumni have gone on and are really following and chasing their dreams in the professional world. That's fantastic. And one of the things is that sports never stops, and a lot of these interns are getting these jobs year round. So it keeps me connected, not just for June and July.
I think another great part is that not only the interns that are finding new opportunities, but the players as well. You think about Ace Reese, who just got drafted in the first round by the Seattle Mariners, or Grady Morgan, who we had up on homecoming, going to the Loco Beach Coconuts of Banana Bowl.
5-3 ground out, and that puts an end to the inning. But yeah, do you want to just wrap up on that? How cool has it been to see all the players that have also progressed in their careers?
It's been fantastic. We've had 5 players that have gone on and played in the majors. We have numbers that are still playing in the minors. Seeing Ace, and that was really, really special for me because we hosted Ace in 2024. So it's pretty cool having a first rounder that just lived down the hall and was sharing a guest bedroom in your house, and then he eventually went on and got drafted. So not only in the stands but in the field and in the prospects and everywhere else, it's great to see the growth of the Riptide alumni, no matter if they're players or if they're interns or staff.
Yeah, well, we'll take a quick break, be back with the top of the 7th. But David, thank you for your time and thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, guys. You guys are doing a great job.
Top of 7 here from the Great Park. Cannon King, Owen Mangini, and Dylan Immel due up in this inning, 5, 6, and 7. Righty Sean York is out there for the Riptide. His first pitch is swung on and fouled off. It's an 0-1 count. Well, Sean York making his 10th appearance of the summer for the Riptide. A sub-1 ERA through 13 and 2/3 innings.
It was lights out on Tuesday against this Saints squad here at Great Park. 3 scoreless innings of just 2-hit baseball. Looks to pick up things right where he left them off.
Was credited with the win as well against Arroyo Seco. First batter he faces is the lefty Cannon King. Tall righty gets set with the black glove and the 0-1. Got by the glove of Nguyen. It was outside, and the count is 1-1. Sean York out of Citrus College, but he's committed to SEMO, Southeast Missouri State. That's always fun, right? You start the summer, a lot of the guys are in the portal, but as the summer starts to end, it's cool seeing all the places that the guys are going to be going to next. You mentioned that Liam Thatcher recently committed, and also Dennis Fitzpatrick, as it's a 2-1 count.
Well, at this point, most, if not all, players on the Riptide have committed to play somewhere next season. Matanako's still waiting to find out where he'll go.
2-1 from York. Fastball in the zone, 2-2.
But even with that, everybody still has a good idea, right? Because schools have already reached out to them, and sometimes they just play the waiting game, see if they can get another offer, but usually there's 1 or 2 schools that they'll lean on.
York looks for out number 1. His 2-2 pitch, low and away, 3-2.
You think about Thatcher going to San Jose State, right? They're practically collecting Riptide players like Infinity Stones. Reed Montgomery, Liam Thatcher, Eric Rodriguez, and, of course, Jack O'Malley from last season.
A lot of guys going to be heading up to the Bay Area to play with the Spartans next season. 3-2 is slapped foul on the left side. Oh, my. So Cannon King stays alive. He had a big 2 RBI single in the first. It drove in the only runs of this game for the Saints. Payoff pitch. Bounce back, foul. Redo 3-2.
We know they're a team that can come back in the ball game late. Right? We saw it on Wednesday with a 6-run 8th inning. So even with this 5-2 Riptide lead, you can't be too careful, and that's why they have Sean York out, who's so tremendous on Tuesday against the Saints squad.
5 hits in this game for the Saints. Looking to retake the lead. It starts with getting a base runner. Cannon King, a high pop-up over the press box. A lengthy battle here between King and York, and the first batter that York is facing.
Well, Cannon King is a good hitter. We know his hit that gave the Saints their early 2-0 lead, so no surprise here to see a battle between York and King.
King had a big triple on Tuesday right here at the Great Park. No outs. 3-2 count, and York gets set. Here's the pitch. Lined in a right field. That's a base hit for Cannon King, his second of the day. Good battle, and Cannon King comes through in the end for Arroyo Seco.
Well, King worked the count full. Got the pitch he needed to, just slapped it out to right field for the base hit.
Brings up Owen Mangini, who homered the last time these two teams played here at the Great Park. It was a 2-run shot over the left field wall. (5-2) Riptide. We're in the top of the 7th. Throw over to first, and King slides back headfirst safely. 4 steals this year.
It was a smart move on the mound by York. Nodded his head as if he was going to throw the pitch, and then immediately spun around and tossed to first to try and get King.
Owen Mangini is 0 for 2 today, both groundouts to third base, and he slaps it towards the right center gap, dropping quickly, and it does split the gap all the way towards the wall, and rounding third, headed for home, goes Cannon King. He's in a score. It's an RBI triple for Owen Mangini. And Arroyo Seco chipping away at the lead, or rather it looked like that ball it did roll towards the wall, so it is a double for Mangini to cash in the run.
Yeah, there's a ground rule double there for Mangini. Got away, sort of caught underneath the wall, so the Riptide didn't really have time to make the cutoff throw, but it works out perfectly. King was already on his way over. He comes around to score, and the Saints have some life here in the top of the 7th.
Ian Nguyen's out there to talk things over with Sean York. Dylan Immel's the batter due up the lefty. He's 0 for 2.
Different start here for Sean York than what we saw in Tuesday's game, right? Those 3 scoreless innings. Gave up 2 hits to the Saints in that outing. Has given up 2 hits here already.
Still looking for out number 1 as well. Pitch from the righty. Darts in for strike 1. Immel's hitting .389 against the Riptide this summer, but like we mentioned, he's 0 for 2 today. A ground out to first and a ground out to second.
Well, the Saints bats have woken up here late. They realize that their season's on the line in this ball game, so it's going to be a hard-fought battle until the end.
0-1 missed away, 1 ball and a strike. Saints need to win out, and they also need the Barons to lose. They will meet the Barons tomorrow, but after this one, it's going to be interesting for the Saints as they hope that the slow Blues can come through. Blues, of course, playing the Barons today. 1-1. Low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Owen Mangini is the runner on second base. He just drove in that run, Cannon King, to make it a 2-run ball game for the Riptide. 5-3. We're in the top of the 7th. Pitch to Immel. Bouncer to first base, sliding grab for Reyes. Throws to his own pitcher, who covers the bag in time to get out number 1. Mangini advances to third.
Tough play for Reyes at first. He practically did the splits going down to grab that baseball. Was slow to get up, probably feeling the burn right now, but he does make the play for the out.
You can see Alonso Reyes trying to walk it off over there at first base. Nick Nishiwa, the batter, he singled in the 5th and was out on that double play. Saints have a runner 90 feet from home. That's Mangini for Nishiwa, who's driven in 4th this season. Pitch from York. Check swing to first base. Didn't go around, says Martin Ramirez. It's a 1-0 count. Nishiwa playing in his 7th game here in July. He was 1 for 3 the last time he played against the Riptide, and 1 for 2 today as he sends a high fly ball to right center. Drifting over, Rogalski makes the catch. Runner tags from third, throw home, rolls in the grass, and easily scoring is the runner Owen Mangini to make it a 5-4 lead for the Riptide.
It's a sac fly that time from Nick Nishiwa. Brings in the 2nd run of the inning for the Saints. Suddenly, it's just a 1-run ball game.
Riptide led this game 5-2, but the Saints are chipping away at that lead. It's just a 1-run lead right now. As the batter, Broe Sure, takes strike 1.
The way that Sean York pitched against the Saints squad on Tuesday, I don't think anybody expected him to go out here and immediately give up 2 runs.
He's ahead in the count 0-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Looking to still protect the lead for the Riptide. 0-2, big swing and a miss, strike 3. It's the first strikeout for York, the 2nd of the day for the Riptide pitchers. We're going to the bottom of 7, the Riptide. A chance to stretch out that 5-4 lead. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Riptide lead this ball game 5-4 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Saints scored 2 runs in the top of the 7th to cut into the lead for the Riptide. Right now, Orange County looking to stretch out and find some insurance runs. Ryan Castro leads off the inning from the right side. Lincoln Lions back out there. Here's the first pitch. Drilled towards center field, long run for Shear, and it drops in front of him. And that's a good start to this inning for the Riptide. A single from Ryan Castro.
Looked like Shear was trying to locate where that ball was going to go. Ended up shifting out to his right, so he couldn't make the play. Drops in for the base hit. Dylan Huang already getting stretched out in the Saints bullpen should Lincoln Lions falter here in the bottom of the 7th.
Sets up Alonzo Reyes from the left side. Julian Hines getting warm in the bullpen for the Riptide as the first pitch to the lefty Reyes was outside for ball number 1. Orange County has already clinched a number 1 seed in the CCL South. This game, though, matters a lot for Arroyo Seco, who needs to win. 1-0, missed outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Alonzo Reyes out of UC Irvine hitting .291 with the Riptide. He's been on once today. That was a walk in the 4th, and he's come around to score 1 of 5 runs for the Riptide. Lions the 2-0. Bounce to second base. And Mohaz goes to second for 1. The turn of first, reaching out in time. Nice effort from the first baseman Mangini to secure the double play.
A twin killer that time from Dylan Emmel. Got the throw over to second for the out. You mentioned it. Great play at first by Mangini to make sure that the double play came through. Just like that, the bases are empty with 2 outs.
Tatum Marsh digs into the righty's box. DH out of Stanford. Pitch from Lions to him. He hacks and sends a dribbler into the stands. 0-1. Two outs, bottom of the 7th. Riptide 5, Saints 4. Pitch to Marsh was outside 1-1. Tatum Marsh had an RBI single in the 5th inning. He was also hit by a pitch in the 4th. It's now a 5-game hit streak for Marsh. Here's the 1-1. High pop-up. Chasing it is the catcher Nishiwa, and it drops into the net in front of him. Count is 1-2.
Well, here in the late game, I'm sure some of the Barons are tuning into this ball game as they're on the bus ride up to San Luis Obispo, waiting to see the outcome of whether or not Arroyo Seco loses this ball game. A loss would clinch a wild card spot for the Barons. A win and a potential Barons loss tonight would force a winner-take-all matchup tomorrow between the Academy and Arroyo Seco.
2 outs, 1 ball, and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Slapped foul on the right side, redo 1-2. The Riptide will take their own bus trip to Slow tomorrow to face the Blues to cap off the regular season. As for Arroyo Seco, they host the Barons tomorrow in what could be a huge matchup for both teams. 1-2 from Lions. Line back into the net, foul. Redo 1-2.
Yeah, Sam Evans and Colin Costigan are over on the radio broadcast for this game right now. They'll have the radio action tomorrow up in Slow. It's a 2 p.m. first pitch.
Always a fun atmosphere up in San Luis Obispo. You were there earlier this summer.
It's a great ballpark, Sinsheimer Stadium. They always find a way to pack it out.
1-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Shortstop Flores can't field it. It rolls into center field, and Tatum Marsh is on first.
It was an awkward play that time from Flores. He was right on the line when he was running down to get the ball and somehow evaded his glove when he went down to scoop it. Rolled off the glove and got past him. Second error of the game for the Saints.
It's officially scored as a hit for Tatum Marsh. So that's now his 6th multi-hit game of the summer, his 2nd this week. What a week it's been for Tatum Marsh. Sets up Connor Barth here. Riptide a chance to extend their 1-run lead. Lions missed low and in. It's a 1-0 count.
Well, it has to be some sort of remuneration, you could say, for that very first error in the ball game, which should have been a hit. This should be an error.
Connor Barth had a either single or an error. They ruled it an error, but no doubt about that one. That's a hit for Connor Barth.
So Marsh is aboard after he was given a hit. Connor Barth gets a true hit out towards center field and gives him a nice little 4-game hitting streak here in the final stretch of the season, as he's been able to find his form at the plate over the last 2 weeks.
Some good 2-out hitting for the Riptide here in the 7th inning. Marsh and Barth are both on. They both reach via singles. This is Zach Woodson, who's 0 for 3 on the day. He's got a 7-game on-base streak on the line. He's now 0 for 8 when facing the Saints. Lefty on righty, the pitch from the righty. Taken low for ball 1.
Well, Zach Woodson is 0 for 8 against the Saints if you factor in his 3 plate appearances today. So we'll see if he can break through here in the final matchup between these 2 teams.
Runners on first and second with 2 outs, 1-0. Slap to center field. Shear working back, trying to track it down, and he does do so. That's up number 3 to put an end to the bottom of the 7th. Riptide have 3 hits and 2 left on as we're headed towards the 8th. Orange County up 5-4. Top of the 8th inning. Riptide 5, Saints 4. Braden Flores, Evan Ryder, and Sean Asperger 1, 2, and 3 due up in this inning for the Saints. Sean York back out there for his 3rd inning. And the first pitch is sent foul on the left side, 0-1. Braden Flores today, 2 hits, and he lined one to second base, so he's having himself a really good game. 0-1 from York. Missed the zone 1-1. Braden Flores is a switch hitter. He's hitting left-handed against the righty York. Saints were able to score 2 runs in the bottom, or rather the top of the 7th, to make it a 1-run lead for the Riptide. Outside from York, 2 balls and a strike.
It was a tough first inning for Sean York in that top of the 7th. He gave up 2 hits, including that RBI knock from Owen Mangini.
2-1. Off the end of the bat and into the net, 2-2. Last time Flores played the Riptide on Wednesday, he had 3 hits. He's got 2 today, so would love to add another one.
He's a great hitter. He came into the game hitting above 300. He's committed to play for LMU next season. 40 hits on the season now for Flores.
2-2 to him. He pokes it wide of third base. .306 batting average. He's hit 2 homers. You mentioned he's going to LMU after spending some time at Phoenix College, where he hit .353 this past season. Here's the 2-2. Into the opposite batter's box. The count is full against the shortstop, Flores.
Braden Flores played high school baseball at Chandler High School, but Hamilton High School, the other big one in Chandler, has produced guys like Cody Bellinger and Rock Chalowski.
3-2. Low ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Flores here in the 8th.
Crazy story, actually. I got to call Rock Chalowski's game in high school. When he played my high school, Hamilton and Brophy used to be in the same division. And I got to call a Rock Chalowski game his senior season of high school. Who would have known that he'd one day turn out to be the first pick in the MLB draft?
And Rock Chalowski went to UCLA, and big news for him recently. He was drafted by the White Sox. Lots of really good athletes coming out of Arizona. Ryder showed bunt, pulled it back. It was in the zone for strike 1. So do you remember if he had a really good game, or do you not remember?
Gosh, I don't remember. I think it might have been my sophomore year of high school, so I'm not sure how I remember how that game turned out. I do remember that Rock Chalowski was in the lineup.
0-1 count with no outs. Flores on first, throw over to first. And Flores back standing up with 7 stolen bases this summer. Aaron Ryder here at the plate. He had a single in the first. He's 1 for 3 today. He's now on a 27-game on-base streak. 0-1, showed bunt, pokes it down the first base line. Sean York picks it up. No one's covering first base, and the runner reaches safely. Ryder on first, Flores on second with no outs here in the 8th inning for the Saints.
Great bunt that time by Evan Ryder. It was a tough play for Sean York on the mound, who had to run in to try and grab the baseball. Another tough situation for him here in his 2nd inning of work, and an opportunity for the Saints to take a late lead.
Sean Asperger, the lefty, 0 for 3, but he's got 3 homers and 14 RBI on the summer. Trying to come through here for Arroyo Seco and keep their postseason hopes alive. Showed bunt and pulled it back. Pitch was a strike. It's an 0-1 count.
So I found the game. It was a 5-3 Hamilton Huskies win at Opus Field in Brophy. Rock Chalowski was 1 for 2 that game with 2 runs.
There you go. Was it a single, a double? Do you not know?
Doesn't say.
Okay, but a good game for him. Sean York steps off the mound. Well, Sean Asperger hitting .299. He's hitting .167 though against the Riptide. A good batter here. has done a nice job of limiting the strikeouts. Just 5 strikeouts in his last 45 at-bats. 0-1. Plants hit foul. The count is 0-2. And Sean York searches for this first out of this inning.
Well, Asperger's 0 for 3 on the day. Showed bunt there, fouled it back. It's an 0-2 count, so we won't see him try and go for the sac bunt again to get both runners into scoring position. See if Sean York can work that out nicely in his favor.
Riders on first. Flores is on second for Asperger. York finds a pitch he likes, pins the glove towards his white jersey. And he kicks and deals the 0-2. Fouled off. Asperger able to stay alive. Riptide lead 5-4. We're in the top of the 8th inning. A chance to regain the lead here for the Saints as the pitch from York missed high for a 1-2 count. Hits in 15 of his last 18 for Asperger, the third baseman today. Both guys on base for the Saints are speedy. 1-2. Up and outside once again, 2-2.
Asperger doing a good job of working the count here. You mentioned just the 5 strikeouts and 45 at-bats. Guy that only has 18 strikeouts on the year. 3 more walks, 21 on the season.
No outs, 2-2 count. Runners on first and second. Pitch. Slapped out towards right field. Woodson working in. He makes the catch. Everybody stays put. That's a big out, number 1.
And it's an important out right there because neither of the runners are able to advance. So you stop Flores from getting 90 feet home and you prevent Ryder from getting into scoring position. It's about as good of a first out as you can ask for.
Here's Carson Panarisi. Also 0 for 3 in this game. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Still some work to do as well for Sean York. He was able to find out number 1 to Asperger. But the Saints have runners on first and second in a 1-run ball game in the top of the 8th. First pitch to Panarisi. He takes a strike, 0-1. Panarisi homered yesterday against Santa Maria. He's got hits in both of the games against the Riptide this week. A 1 for 5 day and a 2 for 5 day. Oh, 1 down the middle, strike 2.
Good pitch that time from York. Got the slider right down the zone. 1 pitch away from a much-needed second out.
Nice job getting ahead in the count for Sean York here. Here's the 0-2. Both runners take off. Pitch was swung on and missed. Throw down a second and rather time called. Looks like the batter Panarisi interfered, and also Evan Ryder is out. It works out for the Riptide in the end. A terrible break for the Saints, and we're headed towards the bottom of the 8th. Orange County in front 5-4. Bottom of the 8th inning, Riptide in front 5-4 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. A weird play to put an end to the top of the 8th. We'll break that down in just a moment as Madanako leads off this inning for the Riptide. And Dylan Huang, the righty, is out there on the mound. First pitch from him is high for ball 1. So it was a strikeout of Panarisi. He also interfered. So Evan Ryder, who took off before the pitch was out. You mentioned in between breaks that as the pitch was outside, it's a 2-0 count. We've seen a couple weird plays this week.
Yeah, it's 2 straight games now where the Riptide have gotten a double play defensively on an interference call. It happened last night in the 7th inning against the Barons, and they say history repeats itself. It was a 1-run ball game for the Riptide entering the top of the 9th. They're up 3-2. Got 3 insurance runs in the inning thanks to Bradley Navarro, so here in a 1-run ball game, top of the 9th after the interference, they'd love to add some insurance as well.
2-1 missed low. It's a 3-1 count. A good chance for Madanako to get on. He's been walked twice today. He had a hit the last time he was up in the 6th. That was his 2nd hit of this summer. 3-1. He sends a ground ball to second base. Immel on a hot shot picks it up and throws to first. That's out number 1.
Well played there at second by Dylan Immel. Read the bounce of the baseball. It fell right into his glove and to make the easy toss over for the out.
Quick out number 1 for Huang, the pitcher. This is Ian Nguyen. Bases clearing double for Nguyen in the 4th. That gave the Riptide their first lead of the game. Up and in as Nguyen tried to twist out of the way. Thankfully, he wasn't hit. It's a 1-0 count.
I haven't seen too many command issues from Dylan Huang this season, just 5 walks given up. So surprising to see the loss of the grip there.
1-0, bloop towards center field, down. And Nguyen has his 2nd hit of this game. And he's on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th in a 1-run ball game for the Riptide.
A 2-hit game here for Ian Nguyen. And again, you talk about the impact that he's made here in the last 2-week stretch of the season for the Riptide. Just his 4th game this season with Orange County, but he already has 5 hits in the season, 2 RBI knocks. It's been a great 2 weeks for the new Riptide catcher.
5-4, the Riptide lead against the Saints. Bottom of the 8th, looking for insurance runs. Here's Hunter Harrington, the righty. And the pitch from Hong was outside for a 1-0 count. Hunter Harrington reached on a fielder's choice back in the 6th. He's also struck out and lined one to center field. 1-0. Taken in the zone, 1-1. It's been an up and down month for Hunter Harrington, looking for his first hit of this game. The 1-1 on the ground to second base, picked up by Immel, and no play at first. So Hunter Harrington reaches first. Ian Nguyen goes to second. Here's the top of the lineup for the Riptide, starting with Trajan Rogalski.
It was a tough play for Immel at second, who had to move behind him to get to the baseball. The speed of Hunter Harrington beat him out. It's runners at first and second with just 1 out in the inning. Some opportunity here for that much-needed insurance the Riptide are looking for up by a run.
Trajan Rogalski today is 0 for 3 with a walk. He also has a steal and a run scored. Like you said, Avi, 2 runners on, 1 out. And a chance to do some damage here for Rogalski. Pitch from Hong. Fouled back into the screening, 0-1. Rogalski wrapping up his summer with the Riptide before he heads to Yukon to play D1 baseball next season. Transferred there out of Folsom Lake College. Look at second, pitch home. Rogalski takes. It's low and away for a 1-1 count.
I was talking about going to Yukon with Trajan Rogalski. He's excited to play in the Big East. Talked about how good of a baseball conference it is. You think about St. John's upsetting Florida State in the Tallahassee Regional this past postseason.
1-1. Hard hit ground ball up the middle in a center field. Racing around third goes Ian Nguyen. The throw home won't be in time. It's an RBI single for Trajan Rogowski, and the Riptide in front 6-4 here in the bottom of the 8th.
Where's the insurance that the Riptide were looking for? I get to work with a 2-run cushion in the top of the 9th inning when you look to close things out. It's going to be a tougher go for Arroyo Seco, whose season is on the line in this ballgame.
1 out, runners on first and second for the Riptide. This is Ryan Castro from the right side. Hong's pitch. Bloop to first base. Mangini trying to track it down, and he's unable to make the catch. It bounced in and out of his glove, and Castro stays alive. That's strike 1.
That is so unfortunate for Owen Mangini. I thought he had it in his glove, but it just fell off when he squeezed the ball. Unfortunate that time, just an unlucky break, and sometimes that's how it goes for you. It's been a weird ball game.
See if Ryan Castro can make the Saints pay for that unlucky break, like you mentioned, Avi. Oh, 1 fired in the zone. It's an 0-2 count. Hong looking for his first strikeout of the day. He's got 11 on the year. Rogowski's on first. Harrington's on second base for the third baseman Castro out of UNLV. 0-2. Missed low, 1-2 count. Well, Castro today had a walk in the 5th and a single in the 7th. He entered today hitless in his last 17 at-bats, so good to see Castro have a good day as his 1-2 pitch from Huang was sent right back up the middle. It bounced off the pitcher, Huang, and good to see that he's all right. That was a scary play right there. Everybody's safe for the Riptide. Bases loaded.
It took a hop on the grass and bounced straight into the back of Dylan Huang. Thankfully, he was able to shrug it off. Pitching coach will come out to talk to Huang about, number 1, the situation with the bases juiced, but number 2, just to check on his pitcher and see if he's okay.
Entire infield is in. The bases are loaded for the Riptide. Harrington is on third, Rogowski's on second, and Castro is on first base after his second hit of this game.
Look at the guy wearing his glove on top of his hat. I believe that's the first baseman, Owen Mangini. It's a smart way to protect yourself from the heat.
It's hot outside. You got to find any way you can to stay cool. Brendan Weiland was up here a couple innings ago. He was talking to us about how hot it is down there. They're using towels to stay cool.
And we're lucky that we're in this nice, comfortable press box with the cooling AC. It's 88 degrees outside right now here in Irvine.
Pitch to the lefty, Alonzo Reyes. Dropped in for strike 1. It's an 0-1 count. Riptide lead this ball game 6-4 against the Saints. They've got the bases loaded with 1 out. Orange County has already scored 1 run this inning. 0-1. Up and outside, 1-1. Ray is searching for his first hit. He was walked in the 4th inning. He's scored 1 of 6 runs today for the Riptide.
Well, if Ray has found his way on base last night, the walk today would have made his on-base streak 13 games, but he was unable to get aboard last night.
He takes the 1-1 upstairs for a 2-1 count. Reyes has come through for the Riptide time and time again this summer. He's been a huge addition here in the month of July. 2-1. Swung on and missed, but the bat clipped the catcher, Nishiwa, and immediately going to be checked on.
Yeah, scary situation. Bat flew straight out of Lonzo Reyes' hands, and right into the chest of Nick Nishiwa. You can see Reyes shaking up at the plate. He got a massive gasp on his face right after it happened. Everyone just making sure that Nishiwa was okay. Scary situation at Great Park.
As they take a look at Nishiwa, make sure he's all right. Let's take a break here at the Great Park. It's the bottom of the 8th, Riptide 6, Saints 4. Welcome back to the Great Park. It's the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-4 lead for the Riptide. The catcher, Nick Nashiwa, was injured on that last play. He's left the game. So there's a new catcher that's going to be entering the game for the Saints. He'll have a moment to get warmed up. But that's the update here from the Great Park. We'll be back when play continues. Back from the Great Park to resume the bottom of the 8th inning. Nick Nashiwa, the catcher, left the game. The new catcher is Dylan Garcia, number 6, for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Riptide have the bases loaded with 1 out and a 2-2 count for Alonzo Reyes. The pitcher is Dylan Huang, the righty. Huang gets set. His 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Alonzo Reyes is out. That's 2 away here in the 8th inning.
And you're sure Reyes was probably still shaken up by what happened there when he lost his bat and it hit into Nick Nashiwa, who's taken out of the game. Scary situation, and we just hope and pray that Nashiwa is okay and can get back to full strength.
This is Tatum Marsh. His base is still loaded for the Riptide. A chance to find some insurance runs ahead 6-4. Pitch to Marsh. In the zone for strike number 1. It's been a good day for Tatum Marsh. 2 hits. Dylan Garcia, the catcher, by the way, for the Saints, is in his first day as an Arroyo Seco Saint. So he's going to have to step up. 0-1. Bounced on the left side. Shortstop Flores has it across the diamond and in time. They get out number 3 to get out of the inning. The Riptide find 1 run, though, here in the 8th. We're headed towards the top of 9. Riptide in front 6-4. Arroyo Seco trying to keep their season alive. Ninth inning here at the Great Park. The Riptide hold a 6-4 lead against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Saints are down to their final 3 outs. They have to win this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Cannon King, the lefty, leads off this inning. Caden Starr, the righties, in the game for the Riptide. Big swing and a miss from King, and the count is 0-1. It's Cannon King, Owen Mangini, and Dylan Immel, pending any pinch hitters from Aaron Milam in this inning. 0-1. Miss low, then the count is 1-1. Cannon King, 2 hits today, a single in the first and in the 7th.
Well, this is it here for the Saints. Their season comes down to this top of the 9th inning. It is do or die time for Arroyo Seco if they want any chance of getting into the playoffs.
1-1 a King. Missed tie, and the count is 2-1. The Riptide trying to do the Barons a favor here if they can find these 3 outs and take down the Saints.
It would be very nice of the Riptide. They say, you know, sorry for beating you last night. We needed the win, but we'll get you in the playoffs here.
2-1, opposite batter's box. The count is 3-1.
It's the first time Caden Starr pitched since last Sunday against the Philippines. Pitched a clean inning, gave up just 1 hit, no runs, struck out 2 batters. So look to do the same thing here for the save.
4th appearance of the summer for Starr. His 3-1. Tapped back foul, and the count is full. An ERA of 6 through 3 innings for Caden Starr out of Portland.
He's from Eugene, Oregon, where the Oregon Ducks are, of course. Played high school ball at Marist High School.
3-2. High pop up towards shallow left field, racing in Harrington. He makes the catch. That's out number 1 here in the 9th.
Well, you get a dangerous hitter and Cannon King out in left field. Now you have Mangini coming up, who has 1 hit on the day, and then Immel, due after him, is 0 for 3. So the job is a lot easier on the mound for Caden Starr.
This is a talented lineup, though, for the Arroyo Seco Saints. That's the reason why they're still in contention to make the playoffs, despite a tough start to the year. Starr missed the zone. It's a 1-0 count.
Well, time running out here for the Saints if they want to make the playoffs. 2 outs to go. Down here to the Riptide. Need a win to stay alive.
1-0 from Starr. In the zone for a 1-1 count. It was the Saints who scored first in this ball game. 2 runs in the first, and they led 2-0, but Orange County was able to answer back and take the lead. Looking for win number 27 on the summer.
Yeah, it was Ian Wen who changed this game with 1 swing of the bat. That bases clearing double for Wen all the way back in the 4th inning. Since then, the Riptide haven't looked back.
Check it out, y'all.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count against Mangini. One, 2 from Starr. Down and away. And the count is 2-2.
Close pitch there. Tried to frame the outer edge. Just missed a little bit below the knees. So it's an even count here. We'll see if Starr changes eye levels.
All these Saints hitters know what's at stake here in this game, and especially working with these 2 outs to keep their season alive, and the pitch was fouled back. Redo 2-2.
So he did exactly as I said. He pitched low, went with a rising fastball. Mangini was right on it. Just couldn't time up his swing, fouled it back. See what Starr goes to here.
Looking for out number 2, Caden Starr. His 2-2 offering missed low, and the count is full.
So he's pitching north-south here against Mangini. Went low on the 2-2. High on the fastball that was fouled back. Misses low for the 3-2. Has to throw something in the zone here. Can't risk walking the batter with 1 out.
3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch missed high. That's ball 4, and Mangini's aboard for the Saints.
Smart at bat from Owen Mangini. He read onto the pattern from Caden Starr. Low, high, low. Knew he was going to go with the high heat. Didn't chase on it. He's aboard at first. Now the tying run at the plate.
That's Dylan Immo, who's 0 for 3 in this ball game. If he can come through here, though, this is the only hit that they're going to remember. Outside ball number 1 from Starr.
Well, it's an interesting situation now because Dylan Garcia in his first game with the Saints, who had to come in after the Nick Nishiwa injury at catcher, may have to hit here in the top of the 9th. He's on deck.
Mangini on first. Pitch is high over the glove of Nguyen into the backstop. And Mangini to second. He's in scoring position.
Wild pitch from Starr there. Went way over the head of Nguyen and got Mangini to second. He needs to try and settle in here on the mound. He's struggling with his command. Worked the walk on Mangini and has thrown 2 straight pitches outside since then.
Immo, .389 batting average when facing Orange County, but 0 for 3. And the pitch got by Nguyen again, and another 90 feet for Mangini, who's on third.
We went way high and missed Nguyen's head. We went way low and planted the ball through the legs of Nguyen. Starr having some trouble finding the zone.
It's a 3-0 count against Immo. Pitch. Inside ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. And the runners are on the corners with 1 out in a 2-run ball game that the Saints trail in. And look at this. You got Dylan Garcia, who probably wasn't expecting to play in this ball game. He had to come in after the catcher Nishiwa left. And now he's up in a big spot.
5 straight balls here from Caden Starr. The walk of Mangini, the 2 wild pitches that got him to third. Runners on the corners and 1 out. I'm surprised we haven't seen a mound visit, or at least a pitcher catcher meeting between Starr and Nguyen with the way that Starr is struggling with his command. Could go to Dylan Garcia's advantage here.
Starr's pitch to Garcia, spiked into dirt. Way to pick it up quickly for Nguyen. And you mentioned the 5 straight balls, make that 6 now.
He's just lost all sort of grip he has on the baseball. All these wild pitches building up on the mound for Caden Starr. Nobody in the Riptide bullpen. They're going to ride it out with him here in the top of the 9th.
1-0. Starr finds a strike. It's a 1-1 count with runners on the corners. Immo on first. Mangini 90 feet from home. Riptide leads 6-4. We're in the top of the 9th with 1 away.
He's finally able to get the strike he's been looking for. Let's see if that can instill some confidence here in Starr.
Starr the 1-1. Clip the zone 1-2. First at bat of the summer for Dylan Garcia. He's also in his first day with Arroyo Seco. He's got a 1-2 count. Pitch from Starr. Sent right towards the Saints dugout. And the count is 1-2.
Well, it's interesting to see teams bring in players with just a weekend left in the regular season, right? Anthony Murphy, we saw last night with the Barons, made his debut for them. 16th round draft pick by the Washington Nationals, 5-star commit to Miami. Now here it's Dylan Garcia with 2 games left for the Saints and the season on the line right here.
1-2. He swings and misses. That's a big strikeout for Caden Starr, and the Saints are down to their final out.
Bounce back on the mound from Caden Starr. Was struggling with his command. 2 straight walks. Those wild pitches, 6 straight balls. But he found 2 strikes. And he was able to work against Garcia and get the strikeout. Saints season on the line right here.
This is the lefty Brody Shear who takes ball number 1 low. Shear's 0 for 3 today. Hit into a double play in the 5th. He struck out and he's also flown out. Immo takes off, throw down a second base, not in time. So a runner on second and third for the Saints. Pitch was called a ball, so the count is 2-0.
And not only is it a runner at second now, but it's the tying run at second base. Saints need to win this ball game if they have some hope of forcing a winner-take-all tomorrow against the Barons if they lose up and slow tonight. Brody Shear has to come through here if you're Arroyo Seco.
.317 batting average, 7 RBI. 2-0 was lined back foul. Count is 2-1. Hits in 8 of his last 9.
Come on, y'all. Check it out, y'all.
So a good hitter right here. And like you said, Avi, both runners in scoring position. Immo on second base is the tying run. 2 outs, 2-1. Lifted towards center field. Rogowski racing in, drops in front of him. Mangini scores from third. Immo gets the send. He's in a score, throw down a second. Gets by the glove of Barth, and this ball game is tied up. Brody Shear drives in 2, and we're knotted at 6.
The Saints are fired up in the dugout. Brody Shear just kept their season alive with one swing. Tie ball game. Saints would love to take the lead here and potentially force that winner-take-all tomorrow against the Barons if they lose up and slow. Tough break for Caden Starr.
Here's Braden Flores. Now the Saints with 2 outs and Shear on second look to take the lead. Lefty on righty, and the pitch from the righty. Missed tie, ball 1. Star fires a strike in there, 1-1. It's been a good day for Braden Flores, 2 hits and a walk. Tie ball game at 6. We're in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. 1-1 popped up and out of play. 1-2. Riptide will have their chance in the bottom of the 9th to walk this game off. They hope it's a 6-6 score when they come up. One, 2 from Starr. Line drive up the middle in a center field. Rounding third, racing home. Brody Shear, throw to the plate. Is not in time. RBI single from Braden Flores. And just like that, Arroyo Seco's in front, 7-6.
What a comeback from the Saints offense here in the top of the 9th. Do or die for Arroyo Seco. They find a way to come through with 2 outs in the inning. Sheer RBI double, Flores RBI single to take the lead. If the Saints win today and the Barons lose tonight, we get that winner-take-all matchup for that 3rd wild card slot tomorrow. And the Riptide could potentially play one of those 2 teams in Wednesday's semifinal.
Evan Ryder fouls a pitch off, 0-1. Everything was on the line here for the Saints in this inning. And they have battled. Gotta love the fight of this team. Here's the 0-1. It's lined right to the first base coach who ducks. It's an 0-2 count.
Well, you have to feel for Caden Starr, right? Who's 1 out away from putting this ball game to rest, giving the Riptide a win, and ending the Saints season. And instead, he gives up a pair of knocks to give Arroyo Seco the lead.
Saints entered this ninth inning down 6-4. They've already scored 3 runs to take the lead. Runner on first with 2 outs and a 0-2 count. Pitch way outside. Nice grab from the catcher Nguyen. 1-2.
Well, Dylan Nieto is stretching around in the Riptide bullpen. If the Riptide tie the ball game up in the ninth, we could see him in extra innings.
Caden Starr is 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning and giving the Riptide a chance to walk it off when they come up. 1-2. High pop up to the right of home plate. First baseman Reyes makes the catch. That's out number 3. What a rally for the Saints. Everything on the line. They scored 3 runs. They take the lead. It's 7-6 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. Riptide trying to walk it off. Bottom of the ninth, Riptide down 7-6 against the Arroyo Seco Saints. In Orange County looking to walk it off. But what a ball game it's been, Avi. 3 runs scored in the top of the ninth to keep their season alive by the Saints. As Hong's first pitch to Connor Barth was ball number 1 for a 1-0 count.
Well, all Dylan Wong has to do here is get 3 outs, keep the Saints season alive, and I'm sure that entire team will be tuning into the slow game tonight to see if they can beat the Barons.
1-0 in the zone, 1-1.
Barons and Saints scheduled to play tomorrow in Pasadena, so Arroyo Seco will have the home field advantage in that ball game. So winner take all. If the Barons lose tonight, winner would play the Oaks in Tuesday's wildcard game.
The 1-1 is sent foul on the right side, out of play. Count is 1-2. It was 2 outs for Arroyo Seco in the top of the ninth. They were down to their final out. And Brody sure comes up and hits a 2 RBI single. And he advanced to second on the play to tie the ball game up. And Flores drove in the go-ahead run. 1-2, swing and a miss. Barth is out. And that's 1 away.
Well, talk about clutch, right? Season on the line, 2 outs. You're 1 out away from your season coming to an end. That's it. It's over. Shear gets the RBI hit. Flores follows him up by bringing in Shear to give the Saints the lead. Almost unreal here.
Here's Zach Woodson, the lefty. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Riptide have rallied late in games, though. Like we said, they have a chance to walk it off here. That would be a heartbreaking loss for Arroyo Seco. 0-1. Missed low, and it'll count as 1-1.
Especially after you have 1 out left in your season, you come back and get the lead and give your team some hope. You could tell the difference between these two teams, and where the Riptide are sitting, having already clinched that 1 seed. As they get the swing and the miss there. Riptide dugout, looks like they're having some fun. Everybody's chilling, but the Saints dugout, that entire team is lined up right along the edge of the dugout, staring at this ball game with intent. They know what's on the line here.
1-2. Missed a zone low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Woodson is 0 for 4. It's a good point you bring up. On one side, you have a team that already clinched their playoff berth. They already clinched the number 1 seed. On the other side, Arroyo Seco is fighting for their season. 2-2 to Woodson. Smash towards right field, and it is foul. Hard hit ball, but out of play.
Well, we saw Zach Woodson launch a 415-foot home run in right field in Thursday's game, the 17-0 blowout of the Philippines. Almost had another one there. Just pulled it foul.
Instead, the count is 2-2. Pitch from Hong. Goes the other way, sends a fly ball, and it twists out of play. Drops next to the batting cage and redo 2-2. Hong the 2-2. Ripped right towards the Saints on the right side. People were ducking and scattering out of the way. Long at bat here for Zach Woodson.
I'll tell you what, it's been a fun ball game. 7-6 score. Saints got out early. Riptide took the lead. Just when you thought it was over, the Saints bounced back to keep their playoff hopes alive. Look to end things shortly.
2-2. Zach Woodson swings and misses. Back-to-back Ks from Hong in this inning, and that is 2 outs.
Woodson was quite upset with himself there on the strikeout. Yelled a not appropriate word as he headed back to the Riptide dugout. It's a frustrating at-bat. It's good to see the Riptide still in the ball game, even having already clinched the 1 seed. You can tell that they still care about winning these last 2 games of the season and finishing strong.
Low and outside, the first pitch from Hong to the righty Madanako for a 1-0 count. Saints are 1 out away from keeping their season alive and hopefully setting up a big matchup against the Barons tomorrow, as the 1-1 was waved on and missed. 1-1.
I think if you're the Saints, the most frustrating part is going to be having to wait until this evening to find out what happens to the Barons, right? Because you get the win, but you're on edge the whole time until that final score goes up and slow.
1-1 in the zone, 1-2. Dylan Hong is 1 strike away from ending this ball game and securing one of the biggest wins, if not the biggest, of the summer for the Saints. 1-2. Fly ball to shallow right field. King racing in. Second baseman Imo makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Arroyo Seco, their season was on the line, and boy did they step up. 3 runs in the top of the 9th, and they win 7-6 against the Orange County Riptide.
Well, all you have to do is tip your cap to the Arroyo Seco Saints. What a rally. You're on the road. You're down early. Looks like things are out of your control. You get 2 runs and get back into the game. Riptide gets some insurance, and now it's a lot harder of a job for you to come back and get that much needed win. But with 2 outs, you rally and give it everything you have to take the lead, close out the ball game. All smiles there in that Saints line as they await that score in San Luis Obispo.
Huge win as the Saints are now 17-18 on the year. They've won 3 straight. The Riptide dropped to 26-16. This was the last regular season home game for the Riptide. They will be back at the Great Park next Wednesday. Who they will play awaits the wild card game of the CCL South. We know the Conejo Oaks will be in that game. Question is it going to be the Barons or the Saints that they will face? That'll do it for us here at the Great Park. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Avi